What is up, my friends, and how's it going? And welcome to a brand new live stream with your fellow comrade Summary. This is going to be the very first episode of Roma, and we are playing Roma in Rise of the Republic using a submod that is available on the theme that has been created by Sergeant Meme Suraj and yours truly. It is known as Ab Urbe Condita, and it is basically about the start of the Roman Republic. However, yes, we did have a voting system, and of course the Etruscans versus the Romans, and I have to admit it was a very neck-to-neck voting, and the Etruscans is what I was hoping would win. However, the Romans did win narrowly by 53% as opposed to the Etruscan 47%. So let's go ahead, pick Roma as the faction. And Roma is a part of the Italian civilizations in Rise of the Republic. And as such, they get 10 research rate minus 50 resistance to foreign occupation. They do get the Capitoline Hill fortifications, which means that there are 2 battles required for the city of Rome to fall. And of course, the government action of periodically organizing elections for either consuls or a dictator. However, without any further ado, let us hop right into the campaign and have a look at some of the changes that have been introduced to the campaign. Philip Nemec, can we expect implementing original tech tree stuff in the future? Maybe yes and maybe no. I don't know that exactly right now, but all I can tell you guys is that we are looking to implement quite a lot of changes to this campaign. And currently we are, just have overhauled the Romans and the Etruscans, but keep in mind we are still brainstorming the best way to, to design these factions. And of course we are trying to work on the Samnites right now, and then eventually the plan is to overhaul each and every single faction that is available in the campaign, and then perhaps add a couple of playable factions to the campaign. However, let's just skip the intro. And pretty much we start off the campaign at war with the Veii, and they are a faction to our north, and we pretty much have just the province of Roma itself, which comprises of just 2 regions, Ostia and Roma. Let's have a very quick look at our diplomacy. We start out as the House of Furia. Maybe we can rename this to Gens Furia. And of course we have Marcus Furius Camillus as the leader of the house, and he was historically a Roman dictator for quite a several number of times, and there's no definite number as to how many times he was dictator, whether it was 6 or more. That is left up to interpretation. However, he does have 2 siblings, Lucius Furius as well as Spurius Furius. Apart from that, we also have the House of Aemilia, House of Licinia, and we can have a quick look at our other parties, and we have pretty good traits, with the exception of course of Thirst for Power. As you can see, this will obviously give a constant -10 to their loyalty towards us. However, we are playing as a republic, I believe, which means... oh no, this is not a republic, so we can actually have quite a high level of influence in order to have the maximum benefits. So this is quite different from the Grand Campaign. So over here in the Grand Campaign, you want to balance out your influence as the Roman Republic. However, in this version, you want to stay slightly high. So we are going to have to eat up that negative loyalty from the House of Licinia. However, without any further ado, let us hop really quickly and have a look at our diplomacy. So we do have the Etruscans up to the north, the faction that did lose slightly. And they will accept a trade agreement with us, so let's go ahead and get that trade agreement. Meanwhile, in the south we have the Volsci. They are a Latin faction, and they don't really like us, so we can't get a trade agreement with us. We have these Sabines to our east, and what we can do is maybe try for a trade agreement with them. They also typically do not like us. And we also have the Neapolis or the Greek faction down here in Napoli, present-day Napoli, in Campania. And we can get a trade agreement with them. However, they're at war with the Samnites, and the Samnites are a pretty tough faction. Perhaps one say. Hello, Sergeant Meme Suraj. Welcome to the stream. Hello, Luro Pep, and welcome to the live stream. Sergeant Meme Suraj, didn't exactly understand what you said over there. However, yes, before we have a further look at our politics, I do not want to initiate a trade agreement with these guys, even though I can, and that's because I want to establish a friendlier relationship with the Samnites, who are a far more powerful faction. And the idea is to basically try to not expand historically, as that is very tough to do in this campaign. Historically, we'd have to take out Veii, conquer the entirety of Latium, wage war against the Samnites and capture Campania, and then we wage successive wars against the Samnites, capturing Sabina, Fretani, as well as Samnium, before we even consider pushing up north, and eventually, of course, pushing down south as well simultaneously, and finally taking out Taras in the Pyrrhic Wars. However, that's going to be extremely tough from what I have noticed in some of my tests. And what I basically want to do is I want to take out Veii. Obviously, we are at war with them. Meanwhile, what would end up happening is that the Volsci does declare war on us simultaneously, so we really have a very tough start as Roma ahead of us, as opposed to the Etruscans, who have it a lot easier. So once we stabilize conquering the 3 provinces of Veii, Roma, of course, we start out with that province, and Latium, then we want to have a friendly Samnite kind of a border in the south, so that we can focus our attention and push eastwards and take over the Sabines, as well as move into Picenum and maybe even Umbria if we can, and have a very defensible position in the center of Italy. And the reason being is that Italy, for the most part, if you look at the geographical features of Italy, and I will explain more so in the campaign map itself, we have a mountain range, which I guess is called the Apennine Mountain Range, if I remember correctly. And it's very easy to defend any holdings within this mountain range, because you have a lot of choke points within this mountain range. If we go ahead and look at the campaign map, as I can see, as I've already drawn over here, they are very easy to defend if you hold on to this territory. However, the more you expand onto the coasts, which are basically plains on either side of the Italian peninsula, it's a lot harder to defend. So strategically speaking, it makes more sense to control these mountain regions, as you find yourself very easy to defend yourself, because Roma starts out in a central position, which means it can be attacked from all sides, especially at the start of the game. You're already at war with the Veii. It'll not be a matter of time before the Volsci also attack us, the Sabina also attack us, so, that is a problem. We're going to be attacked on all 3 sides in the beginning of the campaign. However, we have a veteran over here who I am going to go ahead and deploy him in our army. And speaking of our army, this is where the Roman army is actually quite different from the base Rise of the Republic campaign. And that is because in the base campaign, we start out with what is known as the Camillian Legionary units that is available at the Divide et Impera Grand Campaign start. However, over here, it's pretty much the Romans haven't yet, stepped into the Manipular style of things, and they pretty much fight in the olden Etruscan-inspired hoplite phalanx. So we have modern in some hoplite phalanx, and to speak more clearly, basically Roma had a Etruscan king prior to this, and that Etruscan king basically, gave Roma its kind of armies that they currently have right now, or its army organization, and he divided the Roman army into 7 classes. So we're going to have a quick look at these 7 classes. So if I open them up over here, you have our first class, which is our Equites, our cavalry and our elite class. Then you have our hoplites that come from the second class, our hoplites that come from the third class. And then you have our astati, which is basically a spearman that comes from the fourth class population. And you have the astati that comes from the fifth population or the fifth class. And you have the Pilumni, which are a Latin tribes people that come from the sixth class. And finally, you have the Achensi, which comes from the seventh class, or the class is 7. So you have the 7 classes that are there historically. And yeah, we are going to change. Some of these units' names have been changed, and I have been discussing at a very long time with Sergeant Meme Suraj as to how best to name these units, and I do apologize to him personally. I have chewed out his brain and in the process even muddled up my own brain. So we are trying to find some sort of balance in which we can, have both the historical as well as incorporate the DEI style of things, because DEI just has 4 population classes, as you can see over here. It is the Patrici, the Plebes, the Proletarii, and the Peregrini, which is the foreign population class. So, however, without any further ado, let us go ahead and recruit up some troops. And straight off the bat, I want to get some cavalry, as we are lacking in the cavalry department, and we want to get some hoplites. So let's get a couple of hoplites, maybe 3 hoplites and 1 equites. So we have a recruitment slot of 4. Let's go ahead and get that. Technology wise, I would like to research this, which would give me a further army upkeep cost reduction. So let's go ahead straight away, get that technology, and several of the other things we need to look into, such as some of these diplomats and agents that typically tend to T-pose, which is a terminology we modders use to kind of indicate a bug in the appearance of the agents themselves. We will be fixing that as we go along. Keep in mind that this mod is very much in the beta stage, but we feel that it is playable, so we are going to go ahead and release it to the public, and it is already available to the public on Steam as mentioned before. However, that being said and done, we can upgrade the settlement of Roma, and I typically want to get a sanitation building, but for now let's go ahead and build a herding ground as well as a harbor, just to jumpstart our economy a little bit more. We're gonna have a look at the Etruscans if we can further increase, and this is on high, which is fantastic, so we're gonna make them pay us for it. Maybe military access. How about a defensive alliance? No, you don't want a defensive alliance. It's very helpful to have a defensive alliance against them. And they do offer to join the war against the Veii. So I'm just going to ask them to join the war against the Veii. Keep trying to improve our relationships with them, because we do want to have a sort of kind of ally in the north, in the Etruscans. Alright, so I think that is it for now. And with that, I can go ahead and end the turn. But before I go ahead and do that, yeah, looking at our politics, nothing much to do here. We can recruit a governor general, but I don't want to do that right now, because we really need to optimize how we start the game. And I could very much even lose at the very beginning. It's very much possible as Roma to lose the beginning, depending on your end turns, and of course, depending on how the factions declare war against you in the very first turn of the campaign. I believe the Latins actually go to war with you really quickly, and we're kind of a little bit lucky, and I kind of close that notification. Roman military, we cannot rely on unorganized levies and hoplite phalanx warfare anymore. They are outdated, ineffective against our enemies. We must learn from other nations and adapt our tactics and equipment. Only then can we become stronger and more victorious. So that is basically a precursor of what you can expect in this campaign when we finally achieve our Manipula formation. However, let's go ahead and quickly move our spy over here against the Veii, and you can see they are moving their army towards the Veii, their capital of Veii. And historically, Veii was a very tough city to conquer for the Romans, and I believe the siege lasted 5 years. And that is insane, actually, a 5-year siege. But what we can do instead is we can quickly move our army towards Sisra, We can actually attack the settlement, but before we do that, we are going to recruit one of our brothers, and we'll see which brother is more appropriate. So definitely this guy, who's a genius, Lucius. We are going to recruit him up in Roma in order to continue our recruitment. So a very quick look at the House of Furia. Okay, that's Spurius. And this is Lucius, so we're going to raise him up. Of course, give him the cavalry general. Go ahead, rename our legions as well. Legio 1. Let's go ahead, rename this Legio 1 Ferrata, for example. There's no real records of what the legion names were at the time, so we are just going to rename them into Advitrix. Okay, into whatever seems appropriate. What we are going to do is we are going to continue our recruitment. We'll need a couple of these units. We have one slinger, so I want to get yet another slinger. Okay, and we'll need an extra hoplite as well. Let's go ahead and get some extra hoplite. Perfect. And now what we are going to do is we might even recruit another agent if we can, someone to help with the cultural conversion, as we do have a Etruscan culture. Hello Sigurd of Russia, hello, have a good day. Thank you and welcome to the live stream. We are going to go ahead, quick save, and hop right into our very first battle and have a look at some of the units that we have added into the submod. Alright, so let's go ahead and start our deployment. We have a very small army over here, and I may have perhaps would have been a better idea to wait until I recruited a bit more, but I'm going to play a little bit aggressively. What we're going to do is kind of position this group in this formation, get our missile troops over here in the back, our skirmisher units over here, cavalry on the left flank, and our general on the right flank. And so now let's have a quick look at our units, starting with, of course, on the far right we have our Astati classes 4. These guys are pretty much future Principe units, and as you can see, they very much look very similar to our future Principe units. Very nice looking units, and some of these tunics I have designed myself based on the inspiration provided to me by Sergeant Meme Swaraj. Then we have, of course, our Hoplites classes 3, and for you guys it will be named as Hoplite Romani. However, just to make it clear, of the 7 classes of the Servius reforms, these are Hoplite styled units following the Greek phalanx units. And towards the end we have our elite hoplite, our more elite hoplite over here, I believe, yes. And these guys are a bit more better armed, and they will be our future Principes as well. No, sorry, our future Triarii. And of course towards the flanks we have our Astati class 5. These guys are our more lightly armed Hastati equivalents, however they're not Hastati yet. And as you can see, again, once again, we have gone ahead and modded some of those tunics. Meanwhile, our general is all the way out here on the right flank. And if you want to get a better preview, I would suggest having a look at, you know, the units and some of the screenshots on the Steam Workshop. As you can see, I have gone ahead and made some special tunics for them. Some Roman style tunics with Roman colors in mind. Keeping in mind that the Roman army wasn't really standardized at this time frame, and pretty much throughout history tunics were not a part of the Roman army standardization. However, on the left flank we have our Equites classes 1, they are also of population 1. In the back we have our Latin tribesmen. These guys are kind of like a melee skirmisher unit, so they're a very useful unit. And all the way in the back we have our slingers. So without any further ado, let's go ahead, start the battle with our Hoplite phalanx, and we can kind of fast forward it over here. The enemy sallies out, and we're going to hide the foliage and slow down the battle. So So basically what I would like to do is kind of win this siege and capture our first settlement. And then try to do something that would entice the Veii from leaving their strong position, which is of course their walled settlement of Veii, their capital. Okay, meanwhile our hoplites slowly march into position. Our Astarte classes 5 has thrown off all their pilum. Quick look at these units. They are very comparable to our Astarte classes 5. Let's go ahead and deploy all of our units in that hoplite phalanx formation. Very quick look at that hoplite phalanx with those typical older Roman shields that the Romans used to have. So the enemy is slowly engaging, and over here on the left, the archers have engaged our cavalry, which is unfortunate. We took a bit of losses from these local slingers, but we didn't really pay attention to that. But we are going to go ahead and wipe them out, make short work of them. They shouldn't be able to do much against us when they are in melee. And our cavalry is actually really rubbish for a first-class population, but that is historical. So, you know, while they are pretty rubbish, they are the only cavalry you have available as Rome. And Rome really wasn't a cavalry-oriented faction, so it's kind of justified as to why they are not so good in a cavalry sort of a department. Well, let's quickly move our cavalry to attack these units. Brilliant. And over here, our skirmisher units are in position, so we can sort of kind of move them into the backs of the enemy units and quickly get these guys a bit into narrow formation. They don't need to stay engaged, because what I notice is that they are not really engaged all that much, so they can be used for some flanking instead. So let's quickly move them up ahead. We can turn them sideways. Meanwhile, these units are all done, so we can open up. And our cavalry has, of course, charged right into the enemy hoplite phalanx, and they might actually take some significant casualties. That's exactly not what we wanted, but the AI pathfinding is obviously going to be the AI pathfinding. And alright, so our Italian skirmishers are doing quite well, or Latin skirmishers. Let's go ahead and get these units a bit more closer. These units can do some pretty bad damage, like they can do really well. And as you can see, already 98 kills with these guys. They are really useful in the army. And they're not yet even engaged in melee. And they do have respectable melee stats, as you can see over here. They have 7 melee attack and 10 melee defense, which is really good for a skirmisher kind of a unit. And while our cavalry have gotten out of there, and they're the only units that have taken a lot of casualties. It isn't ideal, but it is what it is. And as you can see, our Latin tribesmen already at 151 kills, really pulling in a lot of the numbers. Meanwhile, our left flank is kind of free, so we are going to simply just keep moving our Latin tribesmen deeper towards the enemy formation, because they have more mobility, so they are going to be able to get deeper towards the enemy line. Meanwhile, our Astarte class 4 is going to move a little bit over here, so already some of our units are doing quite well. Our hoplites are doing quite a decent job at holding the line. Let's reform our army over here real quick and charge into the backs of the enemy units. Meanwhile, we can do the same over here, reform really quickly with our Pilumni. And we can go ahead and charge up Pilumni into the gap, into these units. Alright. Perfect. The Pilumni will actually be the unit with the maximum number of kills. Quickly move our general behind, away from the hoplite unit. Use our slingers to hit that general. And as you can see, we have already routed out the main line. And it's a pretty easy victory, apart from the mismanagement of our cavalry. But our cavalry is super weak anyway. and they will take casualties if you do not micromanage them to the T. However, with that, we have won the battle, and I will see you all in the campaign. So as you can see, our alumni have actually almost got 400 kills, and they actually lead the pack in terms of kills. They are honestly my favorite unit in this entire roster. Perhaps not the most beautiful looking unit, they are the most appropriate looking for what they were historically. But, you know, they are the most effective unit in your armies. So we are going to go ahead and loot the settlement, get some extra money. Go ahead, repair all the buildings. And perhaps if we can get another dignitary, which we can't, we're just going to stay there, upgrade our general. Of course, we're going to go for the military logistician that gives an increase to our upkeep cost reduction, as well as military conscriptor that gives us an increase to our replenishment rate. And basically now what we're going to do is we're going to see this army over here get into the settlement, and if it does, we are not going to be able to conquer Veii, as you know, trying to defeat the garrison as well as the army within the garrison is going to be incredibly tough, as the garrison do have a hoplite units. So what we are going to do in the future is we're going to try to entice this army to retake Sisra, and then we are going to trap it in Sisra. So that is the plan basically. However, with that, we can see if we can engage in some further diplomacy, maybe try to get a non-aggression with the Samnites, and I don't even mind paying them for it, because, you know, if we can manage to get a non-aggression with the Samnites, then that would pretty much mean that our southern section is secured, and there we go, we have that non-aggression. The Samnites kind of like us. Meanwhile, we can see over here if we can further improve our relationships with the Etruscans. We're going to keep trying to do that. And I don't really care if we have a defensive alliance with them or not. Let's go ahead and we can upgrade the main settlement of Ostia, because it is a fishing port, which means we will get all of the benefits and no negative effects to our food. And with that, we can go ahead and end the turn once again. Hey, summary. Does the mod include late Hastati for reforms, I mean? The late Hastati, by the late Hastati you mean the Gladius wielding Hastati no scope? And if that's what you mean, then no. Because Romans really started to use the Gladius much later on. And that is not within the scope of what happened during the rise of the Republic era. Alright, so this is where we kind of want to entice this army and trap it within Sisra. So what we want to do typically is we want to move our army back towards Ostia. We will get some replenishment from that. Meanwhile, over here we have already deployed our units, so let's go ahead and merge these armies. Okay, deploy Legio back over there, and I'm pretty happy with the composition as far as our skirmishers are concerned. Now we're going to focus on our other units. We're going to get a couple of cavalry units to top up our cavalry, and then we have 3 more units that we can get, and for that we are going to go ahead and recruit up some more elite hoplites. We get 2 more of those hoplites and get a 3rd of that hoplite unit as well. So with that, we should have a full army composition in the next turn, and we should be in a very strong position indeed. So let's just go ahead, quickly end the turn, and pretty much get to see what happens during the end turn. And my guess is most likely they will try to take over Sisra, which I don't really care for. Anyways, no scope. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you with us. And we have a non-aggression with these guys. It's on moderate, but I'm not going to accept that. And as predicted, they have declared or attempted to retake the settlement, and I'm okay with that. This is actually perfect because we now get to trap this army within over here and fight them in a much weaker position. And now what we are going to do is we're going to march straight back over there, upgrade our characters, those who have upgraded. Alright, spy hasn't yet upgraded. Alright, and now we're going to go back over there and attack these guys. And as you can see, it's now quite an easy battle. They do have a garrison, but the garrison is heavily depleted, and this should be a lot easier to do than trying to fight them in Veii. So this is kind of like what I would recommend if you have an enemy with a very strong starting position like the Veii, is basically try to entice them into attacking a settlement that is easy for you to take over. And let's go ahead and deploy our army. We have a full army, so this time we can deploy them in a little bit of a better formation. Let's go ahead and give these guys Army 3, Army 4. I am going to perhaps disband maybe one of these hoplite units. I feel they're a bit too much. And instead go in favor for getting another equites unit. We'll see how that goes. However, for now, let's go ahead, deploy these guys on the flank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold down the control key, select, and deploy them. And just like that, you have them all nicely aligned. These guys can form up the reserve. And we are going to stretch them out a bit. And go ahead and deploy them as a reserve. Get our slingers all the way in the back. Group up these guys, group up the Pilumni. We're going to put the Pilumni once again on either flank so that they can surround the enemy. And get our general on the right flank to support our other cavalry over there on that right flank. Now quickly go ahead and move up our entire army. And once again, the enemy has decided to come out of the settlement, which is kind of good for us. We are going to quickly march our army to kind of get within range. And this time we're going to be a lot more careful with our cavalry. Pull them behind so that they don't get targeted by the enemy skirmisher units. And slow down the battle. And over here I do notice the enemy has a cavalry unit which is 200 men strong. So we are going to move some of our spearmen in order to support our cavalry on that left flank. Quickly make our entire army march into position. Move up group 5 really quickly. And this unit over here can come really close to this cavalry unit. Start throwing up your javelins. Start throwing your javelins over there. And as long as this cavalry is staying very passive, then we can just pretty much, and I don't want to get too close to that cavalry because if it decides to charge my units, then I'm in problem. So let's go ahead and make sure all of our front line is in hoplite phalanx. And there we go, they charge. So now is the time where we can charge these units. Quickly reposition these units. Get our slingers to kind of target the enemy slingers and get rid of their missile units. And here we go, we have our spear units that should make quite a good attack against the enemy general. So the enemy general is now losing decisively, which means we can perhaps even chase him. Meanwhile, our reserves have come into position over there. Our slingers are repositioned. Let's go ahead and start hitting the enemy slingers. And make sure to put them on guard mode so that they do not kind of, overextend. And now we can move these guys up front. We can even move these guys in and around. Alright, let's reposition these guys. These guys can reposition somewhere over here. Our general over here can begin to attack their skirmisher units. Meanwhile, we are going to completely surround their general unit, who is losing decisively. And they will lose even more decisively because we get more spearmen into the fray. And that is actually perfect. Meanwhile, over here we have a hoplite unit, but we can go ahead and throw our javelins right into the backs of these hoplite units, thereby dealing some significant damage. Our general is doing quite well over there. We have another group of units and another group of hoplite Etruscani that we can throw our javelins into, keep pushing our general into the backs over there. And as you can see, our javelins are doing quite a lot of damage against this hoplite unit, and it is losing decisively as a result of our javelins. We have another cavalry unit that we can use to support our general. Let's go ahead and do that. Meanwhile, our Adstati class 4 can go ahead, attack these units, and our cavalry can give chase to the enemy general who is out of the battle. So just move our cavalry away from that spear engagement. Meanwhile, over here we can move our 4th class Adstati into position. Go ahead, keep tossing our javelins into another bunch of phalanx units over there. These guys can go ahead, charge here. You can throw javelins into that unit. We're pretty much done with the battle almost, from the looks of it. And we are now throwing our javelins into these units. Quickly get our slingers behind. They seem to be relocating for some reason. We can get our units to start flanking once again. These javelin units are doing quite well, and as you can see, 86, and the other units are 130. Really good stuff, and with that, yes, we have won the battle. We've wiped out a Veii army, and decisively, so to speak. Hello Red Oscar, and welcome to the live stream. Yes, maybe just a benefit of being a general's bodyguard made this cavalry unit so big. It is absolutely a big cavalry unit, so but yeah, we did quite well in that battle. We have taken Assisra once again, which means we can go ahead and loot the settlement once again, getting a lot more money once again. And the idea I had was to increase this cavalry by 1. So what I am going to do is I'm going to actually merge these units over here. Get rid of one of these units. So I get a bit of replenishment over here with the plebeies. Okay. With the patricians, I'm sorry. And we need some proletari. So the best unit to disband for the proletari would be this unit over here. Let's go ahead and disband him. Let's merge up some units and disband this one unit over here. So now we have 3 more units that we require, and we're going to get a couple of, maybe just merge these units as well. We can disband this cavalry unit. It's going to take a while for him. As far as army traditions are concerned, we can go ahead, get that typical Roman army traditions that I usually go for. And yes, so what do we need over here? We need 1 more Hoplites class 3. We need 1 more Astari class 5. A couple of these units. So that will give us 4 cavalry units, or slot for 4 cavalry units. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to get a couple of these, 1 of this, and 1 of this. So in the next turn, we should have a full stack ready to conquer Veii. And let's go ahead and quickly end the turn. Hello Lucas Lemon, welcome to the live stream. And yes, we have just started, of course, the campaign, and we are at war with the Veii. And these guys want a peace. I'm not going to accept that. Unfortunately, the Etruscans are attacking the settlement of Veii. And I'm not sure, they could also potentially win that siege. And they're not going to siege it down. Oh, they actually... yeah. So what we are going to do is we're going to entice the Etruscans and hope for the best that they don't actually conquer Veii. And the way to do that is actually march up our armies real close, put in our troops over there. Go ahead, very quickly upgrade our spy as well. We can even upgrade a dignitary. So let's go ahead, upgrade our dignitary like so. And now that we have, basically we can repair all of these buildings. And now hopefully during the end turn, the Tarchuna will attack the Veii, and they will lose because we will not reinforce them, and then we can conquer the settlement quite easily. Let's go ahead and do that and see what happens. And they attack, we're going to deny, and they conquered it. So yeah, that's a problem. We do not have Veii, unfortunately. But that's not too bad because, yeah, we can focus on other things. We still have a defensible north, so that is great. So as I mentioned, playing historically is not going to be easy with these guys, so we're going to have to play as ahistorically as possible, but playing as efficiently as possible. So what we're going to do over here is we have a bunch of armies that are recruiting up, and this is the second and harder part of the campaign. It's pretty much trying to decide how we progress from here on out. Is we have two options. We can expand further south and conquer the Latin region, or we can expand eastward, conquering the Sabines. Meanwhile, okay, these guys are not the Veii. Let's go ahead, upgrade these buildings once again. Perfect. And what we want to do is we want to march our army and start building up a second army over here. So once we have a second army, we should be in a much stronger position, and we're going to begin with our cheaper troops, of course. Go ahead, end the turn. Maybe we can... We can start to trade with some other guys. No, they're not interested. Alright. Let's go ahead, just end the turn. There's nothing much else to do in this turn. Hope you can elect him as dictator to fight against Brennus. Oh yeah, definitely. We'll be trying to do that. Do I understand right that the army traditions weren't changed as yet? Are there plans to change them in Rise of the Republic, make them different from the main game campaign? As of now, no plans to do that. And I don't think... I mean, this is very much a diamond in the rough right now. There are a lot of changes that we intend to implement, but we haven't yet implemented. And some good news of what's happened over here. These guys have gone ahead and conquered one of the Latin tribes that we had down south over here. We can kind of sort of use that as a casus belli to declare war against them. We're going to go ahead and declare war against them. This province over here is a Latin province. Regardless, I am going to go ahead and fight that siege battle. Meanwhile, we are in the process of building up our second army. What we're going to do over here is keep marching further inland, get a view of the enemy. And they have 3 armies over here, and this is the army that we have to watch out for. It's a 13 stack. And we are playing with 20 stacks. So... and the reason being is that the game is not balanced around 40 stacks just as yet, because there are limitations to some of the units, which we are trying to work on as well. Alright, so welcome to a siege, and what we are going to do is, this is a very unique kind of a siege. What we are going to do is we're going to attack this section of the wall. Not this section, because you don't have many places where you can come down from. And you know what? I might just attack this section of the wall instead. Because I could always burn down the gates. So what we are going to do is put up 2 of our units like this. Go ahead, arrange our army. Group 4 cavalry all the way in the back, general all the way in the back. Get our slingers up on this hill where they can have a very strong position against the enemy. Meanwhile, these 2 guys, we are going to get you out of there and instead put up our class 5 units. Take charge. And you can be slightly behind. Perfect. And now the remainder of our units can be our hoplite units. We're going to put them as narrow as possible. Excellent. And with that, we have our composition ready. So let's go ahead and start the battle. Quickly go ahead and try to send our ladders to those walls. Get our slingers up front. Toggle on that guard mode. And very slowly we are going to move up our other units. And the idea is to burn down the gates and try to enter the settlement. We can actually run with our hoplite units because they will not interfere with the ladders whatsoever. So we can actually run with them while our general can come slightly ahead. Slingers for some reason are not attacking the enemy. I don't understand why. Is it because trajectory of slingers? That could possibly be it. It's possibly has to do with the trajectory of slingers. I don't really like slingers. They are historically, they make more sense. And this is one of the reasons I don't like slingers, because of course their trajectory is what hampers them, especially in siege battles. Yes, absolutely, their trajectory is a problem. We're gonna have to just try to hit these units instead, or maybe hit the units that are further away. That would help our trajectory a little bit. And let's go ahead, fast forward over here. Okay, our slingers have begun to kind of attack. Meanwhile, our hoplites over here can go ahead and start burning down the gates.
The men are wavering.
One of our slingers have wavered, so slingers weren't really useful in this battle, really. And I'm gonna move up our other units as well. This unit can pretty much go around the city and try to capture some other features of the city. Meanwhile, move up our units close, and we're gonna have to be a little bit patient, because what we want to do is we want for all of our units to climb up the ladder before we issue our next unit to climb up the ladder, because that leads to some really weird pathfinding. So very quickly go ahead and capture this tower. We're almost done burning down this gate over here, but we're not going to go through the gates unless we neutralize the gates. Otherwise, we will have burning oil poured down on our units. And this unit has gone up entirely, so we can send the next unit up. And we can do the same for the very next unit. This is a bit weird. Okay, go here. You issue the order for you first. Alright, we're gonna try that once again. Excellent. You're gonna go up the other ladder, which doesn't really make sense. But okay, that's fine. Once you've done that, then this should not be a problem. We're gonna do that as well over here. You're gonna go in this ladder, so they're just gonna crisscross for some odd reason, because the AI is always gonna be the AI. And we have managed to burn down a section of the gates. That is good. We're gonna just stick with our hoplites over here. Meanwhile, our main units can be, and our Sensi are all but, you know, defeated. we're going to bring our alumni towards the ladders as well. Because from top, from above the ramparts, they can throw down their javelins and inflict some heavy casualties on these units below. However, what we desperately need to do is actually try to neutralize these gates, and we are in the process of doing that right now, so that is great. We'll have some look at some of the units, the new units fighting for the ramparts. Alright. I really enjoy the music with Romans shouting in the background. Roma Invicta, or Roma Victrix rather. Alright, we captured that tower. We're going to move on to the next tower. Move this way, and then this way. And eventually, the idea is we're going to try to capture this gate as we make our way around, and our cavalry can enter from that gate. Alright, our next...
This is a shameful display.
Almost done neutralizing this gate, after which we can just march our hoplite through the gates. Now all of these units, I can group them into one unit. Meanwhile, group 6 is all the way over here. Okay, so group 5 come up here. And since the gates have been neutralized, we can go ahead and march up one of our hoplite units into the gap. And you just want to march them into the gap, not actually select an order to attack an enemy, so that they maintain their formation while they march through the gates. Alright, let's march them through the gates real slow. And as you can see, they are going to march really slowly through the gates, maintaining their formation, and they won't have their formation breached, as you can see. Pretty much the enemy will soon engage them. And there we go. They engage, they have their formation still intact, and so they will be really strong over there in that gap. Meanwhile, one of the units is wavering for some reason, and I don't exactly know why. These guys, they were on fire at will, unfortunately, so they are going to pretty much waste some of their javelins, unfortunately. Get these guys all the way over there, hurry up. Meanwhile, this hoplite unit should start racking up some kills very soon. Now we can actually go ahead and click on a unit, so they will keep marching forward. Excellent. And now they will start to get some significant kills. As you can see, they are racking up those kills really fast, and they haven't lost a single unit. So far that's looking quite good. Meanwhile, over here, what's happening is these guys are trying to retake back that tower, so we are going to move our alumni towards them. Get our general to inspire these guys. Hoplites are doing quite well over here with 48, 49, 50 kills already. And these guys will get an insane amount of kills by the end of this battle. They might even get 500 to 600 kills. These guys run away. We are going to engage with the fire at will over there, so that they throw their javelins against this unit. Meanwhile, let's move our cavalry all the way over there to that left side. This unit can come all the way up here. Toggle on your fire at will as well. The hoplites over here are at 128 kills already. And of course, we are in the process of capturing and neutralizing yet another tower. We don't really need to capture this tower. All we need to do is neutralize it. And I think we have already neutralized it, so let's actually go for the gate. Meanwhile, these guys are busy routing, so that's great. We are going to go ahead, and we don't need that tower. We're going to move our troops back over here and over here so that they can throw their javelins into those units. Meanwhile, Group 5, you can come up over here. 146. Go ahead, attack these archers now. Okay, do they have any cavalry units? They do not. So we can actually just bring our alumni over here, bring them down, that would be a lot better, and then march them here in this direction. After that, come here first, and then move here second, move here third. Perfect. Supply at 169. Group 5 can go ahead, attack this unit over here. Our general. Perfect. $200 kills for that hoplite unit. Still hasn't taken, or it has lost just one unit. And now we are busy neutralizing the towers over there, so we can get our cavalry all the way here. And once we get our cavalry into the city, then we pretty much win the siege. Okay, alumni, we can get them closer over here. And we will capture the tower in the process. And I guess we can just fast forward for now, because there isn't really much to see over here. Hoplite at 324 kills. Dealt with that archer, so we can go ahead and attack the sword unit. Get our cavalry even closer.
One of our units has used all its
And we
ammunition.
have captured that gate, so that means our horsemen can get into the settlement. And we are going to get them into the settlement real quick. Easy. And now we should easily win the battle.
The battle is turning in our favor.
Get them all the way over there. And send them in that direction. Our alumni have done quite well, so they can get into position to flank the enemy unit. Go ahead. Horsemen now over there. There we go. And we can cycle charge them to hit another unit. And with that, the battle should be quite easily won. This guy will not even put up a fight. There we go. Easy battle, very well fought. And we did take a bunch of casualties thanks to the towers, but mainly our third class population took a lot of the damage. So, and as you can see, this unit over here, 681 kills. Absolutely powerful way of attacking a settlement. And with that, we have captured Antium. We are going to peacefully occupy it because it is Latin culture. We have upgraded as far as... Did I really just move my governor over there? No idea why. Okay. But we are going to move our governor over here. Meanwhile, we are going to spec Latium, which is a province with 4 regions, into our food province. Or not our food province, but our economic province agriculturally, so to speak. Okay, meanwhile, we are looking good for this turn. And now that we have all of that sorted, we can get some governor generals. So let's actually get one from the House of Licinius that is good as a governor general, and that's Publius Licinius. So let's get him. Okay, here we go. And we are going to give him this hoplite unit instead. Rename him as Legatus of Latium. And next we are going to get one from the other party. And definitely this guy, again, Publius Aemilius. So here we go. Raise as a fleet, I believe, or we can... Actually, he should be Lictoris. However, okay, Lictoris Anagni. Okay. We're going to raise another guy who will be yet another Lictoris. Raise army. Put you in there. And rename you to Lictoris Space Fregele. Okay, there we go. And with that, we can go ahead and end the turn. Alright, perfect. They have one army that's close to us, which means we can attack him. And we will attack him. Go ahead, get that extra replenishment as well as the extra campaign movement.
You fight for Rome. Attack!
Alright. This guy can potentially attack the settlement of Antium.
We serve without question.
You know what? I don't mind if he attacks the settlement of Antium. So what we're gonna do is just keep going ahead, keep being very aggressive over here, as we can afford to be very aggressive. Go ahead and slave all the captives. And we can upgrade our army traditions. Go ahead, get a couple of these army traditions. And we can attack Fregele as well. And over here, what we want to do is we want to recruit the remainder of our troops. So a couple of hoplites, couple of those units. And we are out of money. So what we are going to do is we're going to attack Fregele. Maybe we could even attack this settlement. And I think that would be the better move, in fact. We go ahead, attack this settlement. And yeah, it should be an easy auto-resolve. And I actually want to auto-resolve that. Just quickly have a look. This army cannot do much. So we are going to go ahead, just auto-resolve this one. It's at 63%. I'm going to have to want to fight this. So let's actually go ahead and fight this one. Oh my god. Mountainous terrain. Really not so good for a hoplite phalanx kind of an army, as the Romans will soon discover. Alright, let's go ahead and deploy our army. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Get these guys over here. 2. Reserve infantry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. General all the way in the back. Cavalry on either flanks. And these guys, we can just put them on that left flank. Let's go ahead and start the battle. Quickly move up our troops. And because they have a general, they're going to get access to some of those traps. And we are just going to fast forward while we move into position across this mountainous terrain. Alright. We need to slow down the battle. and quickly get these guys into formation about this way. Real quick. And taking some casualties over here. Move these units behind.
Italian noble cavalry.
All right. I don't like where this is headed, so I'm actually going to pull back. Because some of my units are faster than the other units and they are reaching ahead of the entire army, so we don't want that. We're actually going to go somewhere in the middle where we can have a much better control. Okay, and they do have a lot of velites, so we gotta be very careful with how that works out. And we are gonna juke them with our cavalry, actually, the velites. Try to get them away from just throwing their javelins against us at will. Get our cavalry around. This cavalry around as well. Go ahead, hit those velites in the center. You're gonna be able to catch up to them. You're gonna be able to catch up to these velites. And we're gonna pull you back. Meanwhile, these guys can stay in there a bit longer because there are no spearmen over there. Alright. Our main hoplite line, we're gonna deploy the phalanx formation and then march them up forward so that we pin down the enemy. Quickly move our cavalry behind. Okay, stop our movement.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Alright. These are some very tough equity units, so we gotta be very careful. Move our cavalry into the gap over there. Try to flank this unit as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, this unit over here can begin throwing the javelins into the side of this unit. Hello Anthony, welcome to the stream. Glad you could see this. Sometimes the hardest part of the battle is positioning your army. Absolutely. It's all about positioning your army, in fact, if you ask me. And if you position it right, then you get a massive advantage. And I don't want to attack the Hastati. I want to focus on, of course, taking out their velites as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, we can get our reserve Hastati over here and try to stop this cavalry from charging into our flanks. Go ahead, attack over here. Okay.
Heavy cavalry ready and willing.
Alright, we can move our cavalry back out and they can go towards these velites. Meanwhile, this unit is being kind of sandwiched, but this hoplite unit is free, so we can go ahead, reposition over here, and meanwhile assist this unit with charging it in the back. We'll soon need to get our general involved in the fighting. Meanwhile, we can use our pedites to sort of kind of try to attack their horse unit. Okay, go ahead, move back our own cavalry. Go ahead, charge this unit, get out of hoplite formation and charge downhill against the backs of these units. Alright, group 3, form up. Get our general to support as well. Fantastic. Their general is retreating, which means we can chase, and chasing is a really good thing to do because you can inflict a lot of casualties, as you can see over here. And he's going to run into his own traps. Thank you very much for that. Go ahead. Charge into these units. While our slingers can hit these units, you, General, can go ahead, charge downhill. Should be a very beautiful shot over here. And we're going to pull you back. Just inspire these units over here. Our right flank is where the problem is at. Meanwhile, no idea how this cavalry ended up losing, but it is what it is. We're going to move our general further down in order to assist over here. Make sure we give chase to their general. We don't really need to chase him. And that's what I was saying. Our right flank is under big problems, so we are going to inspire over there. Quickly get our other cavalry to charge into the flanks. Quick look at our other units. We're going to pull them behind over here. Try to flank the enemy unit. Move our general behind. Done quite well over here. We can pull back. Keep cycle charging over there. Meanwhile, move our cavalry back out of there. We're going to group our cavalry all into one group. And our slingers can hit these units that are turned away from the front line. The slingers will get some nice shots off. And charge our preliminary into the flanks of the unit. Go ahead, charge over there. You can charge in that direction, as can you. General can charge once more. Hey, wonderful. Let's move out. Let's get this hoplite unit to kind of pin this unit over here so that we can cycle charge him. Meanwhile, get our cavalry around. Slingers, keep firing into the backs of that unit. This hoplite unit can come out of hoplite formation. Try to get as quickly as possible to that unit. Perfect. Form up real quick. Form into your hoplite phalanx. Go ahead, attack. Meanwhile, the cavalry can come around. We are nearly going to win this battle. There's only this last unit left, and if we charge him, cycle charge over here, then it should pretty much be a decisive victory. Already demolished the Veii Terminator, so yeah. We kind of played some diplomacy around that and got some help from the Tarchuna, which is another Etruscan, another Etruscan faction. So we don't own Veii per se, but we have dealt with the threat from the north as far as that is concerned. We are now in the process of attacking the Volsci. Alright, down goes Zanagi. We are going to go ahead and peacefully occupy the settlement and demolish the buildings we don't need. Meanwhile, over here, I could build a temple temporarily. The idea is to actually stop this technology in the next turn, and we are going to go ahead and build up concrete so that we can build some aqueducts. Meanwhile, we just have one final army of these guys over here, the Volsci. So after that, we should have a pretty easy and straightforward conquest of the remainder of Latium. What we are going to do over here, create a non-aggression with these guys over here.
Return having accepted such an offer. Therefore,
No, I'm not going to pay you. Instead, what we could do is we could get a trade agreement with you, I guess.
Speak, friend,
You're on
and
very high.
hopefully later we will
Let's
drink
actually
to
do
seal
that.
our agreement.
Get a trade agreement, get some money.
Your word.
For 10A,
Welcome,
can we get a
worthy
trade
friend.
agreement with you? We can.
Trust you bring words
Let's get
that
some
honor
money
both
once
your-
again. Perfect.
So be
And
it.
Terminator, yes,
We
welcome to
have
the
our
live
now
stream.
we must honor
Summary
the
on your
gods
phalanx
and
unit. Do you ever use the Reform the Line ability? I don't recall seeing you use it much. Honestly, I don't.
Greetings, my friend. You
I
have
would
my
recommend
ear for
using
your
it, but
speech,
I usually
and
just march my phalanx into fighting
Excellent.
rather than
enter,
actually
friend,
make
and
them
speak.
attack each unit individually.
Your
So
proposal. Be welcome.
I would say it's a
If I
very
could give
good
you a favor.
sort of
Now we can drink.
a very good sort of I'm sorry, I'm not getting the word, but a very good sort of ability. But you know, you don't want to it's very micro intensive, so it's not worth it. You already have a lot to do with your supporting troops such as your cavalry and so forth. So we're just going to go ahead, trade with the whole world, get a lot of money, as much money as we possibly can. So you generally just want to focus on your cavalry and your other units that require a lot more micro and can be a lot more effective with the micro.
And the good wishes of our people to you and yours.
Trade is high with the Sabines. So you know what, I'm not gonna trade with the Sabines. I want to attack them next. Meanwhile, we have another Etruscan tribe to the north that doesn't really like us. Here we have the Sabines, the Napoleons. Oh, so the Neapolitans. And of course, we can trade with Carthage? No. Okay. So yeah, we're making quite a good amount of money per turn, considering we have almost 2 full stacks. And maybe we should even just appoint a dictator, because actually appointing a dictator, you receive a bonus to your campaign movement speed, replenishment rate, which is what we kind of need. We are going to select him as a dictator, apply it, and that should mean we should get some really crazy amount of replenishment. Yeah, that is actually great. And Sergeant Meme Suraj, I do agree with you. I lost a lot of population 1, and that's because this cavalry unit is extremely weak. Okay, and I'm not complaining, but that is part of the game design. So what I am going to do eventually is replace them with some mercenary cavalry when I can afford to do so. What exactly is it doing? The Reform the Line ability, it basically pushes your phalanx unit. It's kind of like that effect which some of the historians called I believe it was called the ostomis or osmosis or something like that. Non-aggression, I don't mind, but you're going to pay me for it. And pretty much when you do that, your entire phalanx moves up ahead, moves up a notch and pushes into the enemy unit, inflicting more casualties, but at the same time exposing your flanks if you don't do it properly. Now, considering the fact that I have like 8 phalanx units in this army, I'll have to click the ability 8 times individually, so yeah, that's not going to be good. And also based on my front line, so I definitely do not recommend using it unless you are a god at micromanagement. Let's go ahead, keep chasing down this army. Alright, we're gonna go ahead, attack over here. And now we have 2 options. We can either attack Cassinum or we could attack Fregele. And I am gonna attack Cassinum first because I know these guys are at war with Cassinum or with the Volsci, so I don't want them to snipe the province in the same way I lost Veii. And all that after I did all of the maneuvering against the Veii. Let's go ahead and peacefully occupy this one as well. We're going to build this up into a farming settlement. And we also have access to war horses, which is pretty good. And let's not forget our technology. Meanwhile, we can recruit some more governor generals from the House of Licinia. We're going to raise a fleet over here, and this is going to be the Legatus of Latium. Legatus Latium. Meanwhile, this character over here can start making his way towards Anagni. And you, on the other hand, you are busy recruiting up our second army. And you can't really recruit up anymore, so we're going to put you back in Roma and recruit the remainder of the troops. There we go. Meanwhile, we're going to keep moving you down south towards Frigale. And we don't have enough money to build a herding ground, which is okay, I guess. What we can do is see if we can get some more non-aggressions, maybe Croton,
my friend.
non-aggression
You
high.
have my ear for your
Fantastic.
speech,
Go ahead.
and if it
Pay me a
profits my
little bit.
people, agreement.
Fund my province building.
I must accept.
Is it only for phalanx units? It's for any units that have formation attacks such as pike phalanxes, shield wall units, regular, hoplite phalanx, and so forth. But you can't use it for any unit that doesn't have it. Let's move our spy towards the Sabines. Meanwhile, our dignitary has made his way across over here. Go ahead and deploy him. Try to improve our economy over here. And alright, so we're looking good for this turn. Meanwhile, our army has leveled up. But now we can get the Legio Roma Invicta, which is a very powerful army tradition that gives +9 replenishment rate as well as -9 upkeep cost for all land units. So go ahead and get that. And we can also get the Vanguard as well as the Garrison Auxilia, which improves our melee defense as well as our melee attack skill for all infantry units. Okay, with that we are ready to go ahead and end the turn. Defensive formation with the Romans, it doesn't have the reform ability, if I remember correctly. But yes, you do have defensive formation with the Chameleon Legionaries or the Manipular Legionaries, as you will see later on in this campaign when I am able to enact some of the reforms. Let's go ahead, get that extra army upkeep cost reduction. And now what we want to do is we could get that extra replenishment. We can actually complete these two over here. So our southern border is secured and Samnites have conquered Frigale. Oh, that is annoying. I knew one way or the other they would attack one of the settlements. I should have actually moved this army up ahead a lot sooner instead of waiting for it to be fully replenished. So right now, moving into Sabine territory might not be the place. So what we are going to do is we are going to peace out the Sabines, because I'm a little bit annoyed that I'm not able to complete a province, which is kind of impacting the way I'm playing the game. So we could declare war against the Samnites, and that's going to be very interesting. I mean, the Samnites should not have extended into our sphere of influence, to be fair.
Welcome, my friend.
And because they have done that, we are going to go ahead and declare war against them. Okay. That's a good chunk of money right there. And we almost have our second army ready. We technically might need 3 armies to fight off against the Samnites. But we're gonna have to see how that pans out. Okay, meanwhile, still waiting to upgrade Roma. And can we get another dignitary? We can. Pretty sure of it. So we're gonna get the cultural conversion guy to improve over here. Meanwhile, a quick look at our politics. Things have stabilized a little bit. We can send this character to improve the public order of Veii. Alright. And with that, we are going to go ahead and end the turn. But before we do that, we're going to break some treaties with the Samnites, especially the non-aggression and the trade agreement eventually. And the Samnites are going to be a very tough opponent. They are very, very, very powerful. I cannot stress this enough. They are extremely powerful. I have a non-aggression with these guys, and I don't mind getting a non-aggression with the entire world as long as they are willing to pay me for it. Because I could use the extra amount of denarii. and I'm gonna give Sanctuary. Okay, and since we are gonna be at war with the Samnites, we have a spy somewhere over here. We're gonna have to bring him back down.
Stopping.
And we're gonna have to move our other army into Antium, let's say. Antium. And he has leveled up, so let's go ahead, give him some army skills. Meanwhile, we can upgrade our farm over here. We can also recruit another champion, so we might as well do that in the next couple of turns, but we are really struggling in terms of our economy. And that is actually because we haven't really upgraded any of our settlements earlier on. We have 2 full stacks of legions, and that's not ideal. We are really pushing the limits of our economy, so to speak. Brittany.
Salutations and the good wishes.
Alright, we have a trade agreement with you. I'm okay with that.
You have my attention.
Meanwhile, the Samnites, we just have one more turn before we can cancel the trade agreement. So let's go ahead, end the turn and see what goes on. And I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be very tough to fight the Samnites straight on. But it's gonna be interesting. And we are kind of forced into a historical expansion route as the Romans. We're forced to fight against the Samnites. And honestly speaking, we wouldn't have to fight them, but they are being a little bit annoying, having captured that region. Alright, and we get a bit money off that because of that. And now, I'm gonna keep moving our spy further down south. And one of the annoying things of the Samnites conquering Regele is that they have gotten rid of a lot of our population. So, as you can see in other settlements, we have significantly more population. So I am very pissed with the Samnites.
In our good name,
Let's go ahead, cancel that trade agreement, ask the Neapolitans to join the war against the Samnites. And it is on high, so let's see if you will pay us for it. Yes, you will pay us for it. That makes us a bit untrustworthy, but I'm okay. I can deal with that. And
we have an accord here.
Not entirely sure. I'm just gonna wait until the next turn to see if I can push deeper into Samnite territory. I want to be very careful. They do have a lot of armies actually. This army over here can potentially not reach me, so I'm okay with that. Meanwhile, over here, yeah, I'm just gonna pretty much stay tight or stay put for now. We're gonna recruit maybe just another governor general if we can afford to do so. But we can't because we don't have the Imperium level, so let's just go ahead, keep ending the turn. What we could do is get a champion. So our dignitary has leveled up, and since this is going to be an agricultural based province, we are going to go ahead and get the agriculturalist, which kind of improves our agricultural income. As at the same time, we are going to go for the farming expert, which gives +6 food, +6 growth per turn, which is incredibly powerful. So that is the eventual idea. Terminator, love the way you describe the process of your campaign. Thank you so much, man. It means so much that you are in the live stream, and it also means a lot that that you are complimenting me over here, and you really inspire me as a content creator for Total War in general. And for those of you who do not know, Terminator is possibly in my opinion one of the best content creators for Total War, and not just Total War Rome 2, Total War in general. And I'm pretty sure most of you over here already know Terminator. Philip Nemec, loaded custom battle with Marian and Imperial Legionaries, and they have it, so probably working. Thanks for explaining. I don't understand what is used for it. It is very useful to hold the line. So yeah, I would definitely recommend using it unless you are trying to flank with the unit. Let's go ahead and actually recruit up that champion. We're going to recruit him over here in Antium. He's going to do his T-pose. And of course, he's also got Lorica Segmentata. Dear Sergeant Meme Suraj, we desperately need to fix that. Alright. So the Samnites are bold. They're attacking us. They do have a sizable garrison. They're attacking us with a garrison. So I'm just going to pull back because why not? I don't want to fight that. I mean, it would have been a fight that I could take, but I want to minimize my casualties. Because, yeah, I want to fight really favorable battles. I don't want a slogfest against the Samnites as they will have the upper hand. They are bigger. They have a faction ability that gives them extra army spawns ever so randomly. And now what we want to do is just basically explore what's going on over here. Okay, so we have a bunch of Samnite armies over here. And we got to be really careful. And what we need to do is we need to go ahead and get rid of any Samnite armies if we can. As quickly as we can. So now that we have both of our armies over here, we could auto-resolve this one. And the auto-resolve is not that favorable. But I am going to go ahead and auto-resolve it anyways because it's going to be a very annoying battle to fight considering they will have traps. And of course, cavalry always takes the brunt of the damage. And considering the fact that Fragile really doesn't have a lot of our population class, we could just peacefully occupy it, but I was tempted to loot up the settlement. But so as you can see, yeah, we don't really have a lot of population class. So we could have technically looted the settlement. Let's go ahead and upgrade this building over here. And with that, I think we can go ahead and end the turn. And our champion over here can start to train up this character. And I almost forgot that we are playing at, I think, 12 turns per turn. And yes, now what we want to do is give them the tax rate as well to improve our tax rate over here. And we're going to end the turn and we are going to have a quick look at the chat. New to this channel, found you through your Roma campaign, which is one of the best I have ever seen in YouTube. Saw what happened, which is real shame. Hope you continue. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. Stefanos, welcome to the live stream firstly. Thank you for the wonderful comments regarding my channel as well as the Roma series. I really have put in a lot of work into it. But some good news, I have grinded it out and I have recreated the entire campaign from scratch. So the Roma series will continue as normal and I do intend to release episode 9 come this Friday. The Terminator, thanks man, too kind, and likewise I love your playthroughs, watch them often over lunch. Thank you so much man. I mean, we can just keep complimenting each other forever, but definitely man, it means a lot that you compliment, or that you are complimenting me. So we are not going to replenish in this turn over here. We could leave this settlement abandoned for now. Meanwhile, let's just rename this guy Cassinum. Lictoris of Cassinum. Very dangerous position. We have a bunch of Samnites over here that could attack us. So we're going to find the closest settlement. So we have Cassinum over here. I think Antium is quite close, but Nagni, wow, you extend all the way over here. So I could just technically move my armies a slightly behind over here. Just deploy them in a patrol stance. Okay. Build up a farm or another cattle pens over here. We're going to specialize in the cattle pens. And over here we have an option of 3 settlements. We have the civil settlement, the market settlement, and the farming settlement. The farming settlement is obviously going to be the best for what we are looking at, as it does give extra wealth from farming agriculture as well as a plus 3% wealth to agriculture. So we could go ahead and just convert that. It does cost us a lot of money, and as you can see, we are really struggling in terms of our economy, but not to worry. The minute we can push into Campania, this is no longer Latin culture, so we can begin looting up settlements, which is going to make our economy, or jumpstart our economy rather. Some of our characters have leveled up, and it is a Lictoris, so let's go ahead and give him some Governor General abilities, starting with the tax rate, which is the city governor. That is fantastic. He does get a very useful ancillary that gives +8 wealth from all commerce as well as +8 tax rate. +2 authority and gravitas. That's actually very useful for this character, so let's go ahead and give him that. And instead, for this character, we can give him the extra public order, which is also quite useful. Since we have 2 of those, we can give another Governor General that ability. Shona, good to hear infos about your Roma campaign. I really enjoyed watching it. I am so happy about the Roma campaign myself, man. I really wanted to finish the campaign all the way to the end, you know, through the historical expansion of the Roman Empire, and I might even push the campaign a little bit more, and perhaps even conquer Parthia, who knows. Okay, so here we are in the next turn. We should have replenished one of the armies. And of course, this army is going to replenish a lot slower than the army under our dictator, who is now an ex-dictator. So, can we appoint a dictator? No, we cannot. But he does have a lot of better, you know, replenishment ability thanks to his level or his rank, as opposed to this character over here. So since we have 2 armies that are identical in nature, the smart thing to do, as you can see over here, this unit is going to replenish at 20 units per turn. And it will take 3 turns to replenish. Meanwhile, if we just transfer over those depleted units, then we can replenish a lot faster. So that is exactly what I'm going to do over here. Okay, now this army is fully replenished, more or less. We can just deploy him within the settlement. Now he will take 2 turns to replenish. Meanwhile, over here, as you can see, it takes just 2 turns to replenish, but if I go ahead and deploy that patrol stance, it increases that replenishment rate. So this is one of the very clever tricks that you can use. And in fact, if I want to increase it even further, I can put him within the settlement. And that should give me the maximum replenishment, 41 units per turn. So almost doubling my replenishment rate. I mean, we can put this guy on patrol stance instead. Our legatus has also leveled up, which means we can give him some more tax rate. And that's not a very good ancillary. Okay, perfect. And our economy is slowly picking up. But what we want to do is move our spy deeper into Samnite territory, and as you can see, we have 3 Samnite armies over here. So we got to be very careful. We can't auto-resolve when we invade Campania. Let's go ahead and end the turn. Adrian Tandrecki, hello, welcome to the live stream. Glad to have you with us. How are you doing, brother? Hell yeah. Okay, that is good. They are moving deeper into Samnite territory. And that is kind of helpful for us because we can capture the outremmers or the extremities of their realm without much opposition. But sooner or later the tide will turn against us because their armies have stacked up. Meanwhile over here, I'm gonna wait it out. Okay, we are in spring, so we can move our armies a little bit closer towards the border. And this army as well, he has kind of leveled up the champion, so we're going to move him as well closer to the border. Now what we can do is we can actually move our champion out of this army, move our other champion into this army, because this champion is, you know, he is a lower rank, and this champion on the other hand is a higher rank. I guess we need to see it over here, sorry. So he will be able to level up this character a lot quicker, which is what we want. We want our characters to level up a lot faster. Let's go ahead and build up over here, continue to build up our province. And after we research construction, the next thing we are going to research is the one that gives us our slave trader over here, iron tools, because we're going to convert this into a slave trader. Meanwhile, we're going to dismantle this temple and build up a sanitation building for that extra growth rate. Because the faster you grow your settlements, the more money you will make in the long run. What is the campaign goals? Own all of Italia, I guess. No, I'm just kidding. That would take forever. But maybe perhaps create the Roman Republic borders before the Pyrrhic Wars. So pretty much almost all of Italia, with the exception of Magna Graecia and of course Cisalpina to the north. Adoption. Oh my god, this is one of the worst events. Which one of my characters is being adopted? Cannot be a brother, can it? I don't know. I've never really taken this option, but I don't have the money. You know what? I'm going to stop the adoption. And I'm going to give out the food as well. The reason being is I could attack Capua. But they're going to have a lot of armies attacking me in the next turn. Ooh, okay. I really have to think how I'm going to go about this. My spy over here. Go ahead and deploy. All of them can reach Capua, actually. It's gonna be a very tough battle against the Samnites. Oof, can I piece them out? I'm kind of scared.
Do not waste time on
No, it's on low. Yeah, I'm pretty much screwed now. Okay. What can we do? Alright. We'll probably need to create a third legion, definitely. 3 legions is the charm against the Samnites, however. Don't have much we can do. We definitely have to attack Capua. We can't let them keep recruiting and keep, you know, increasing the strength of their armies. But we have to attack Capua in such a way that we take such minimal losses that I don't even know how I'm going to do it. Alright, let's do it. Let's bite the bullet. And let's attack Capua with our dictator. And we move our other army slightly behind the settlement, actually. Yeah, we're gonna move our other army slightly behind the settlement and deploy him in a defensive formation. And we're gonna go ahead and attack Capua, but before we do that, just have a quick look at all of our provinces. Okay, everything seems to be fine. I kind of forgot to deploy this dignitary up here in the north, so let's go ahead and do that. And yeah, a quick save over here. And we're gonna hop right into the battle. I could auto-resolve it, but I'm not gonna do that because once again, cavalry takes a brunt of the damage and I don't want that. I'm gonna need every single bit of manpower that I can spare. So we're gonna try in this battle to minimize our casualties as much as possible. So we're gonna have to play this really to perfection. Let's go ahead and get better weather conditions. I don't want rain, I don't want fog, I don't want rain again. And don't give me fog again. Alright, dry, that was perfect. Alright, let's go ahead and redeploy my entire army in a very narrow formation all the way in the back so that they can quickly redeploy. And I'm gonna fast forward over here. Double tap, get both of my generals up. Position them, all of my slingers. Just waiting on some of the slingers to come in. There they are, all of my slingers. We're going to put them up ahead. Alright. Get 4 cavalry to form up the left flank. The other 4 cavalry can form up the right flank. Alright. And now we want to put all of our Polymni in another. And we are going to slightly change things up over here. We're going to put them slightly ahead of our slingers. Next up, we want to get all of our hoplite units in the next line. And we're going to start with 1, 2, control click 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And click over here, hit that. And they are formed up. Don't worry, it looks a bit weird for now, but once they kind of line up, I will explain exactly why I did that. And next up, we're going to put all of our units, the remainder of our units in reserve. Now, the reason I'm using my less experienced units as a reserve is because I want to minimize casualties in this battle, and these units have lower armor as opposed to these units. So these units will be able to take some damage from missiles and still not lose any troops. So that's what we are trying to do. SPQR, welcome to the live stream, and don't worry, it's better late than never. Alright. Okay, so now the reason I did this is so that I have my spearmen on the flank, our Adstati classes 4, and my hoplites will be in the center, most likely. Alright, doesn't seem like that is the case, so we are going to recreate this group very quickly once we can. 1, 2. Let's actually do it manually, that's fine. Get our Triaria, our hoplites in the next line. And these two Adstati all the way on the flanks. Perfect, okay. That's looking quite good. Now we can just very quickly group all of these units and just click slightly ahead, and that should make them line up neatly. Perfect. Now we're going to select the entirety of the remainder of the army and deselect the front line so that we can move up everyone properly into position. Just run. Perfect. And I know this is overkill. It's a really small garrison and not a very elite garrison. But I really want to minimize casualties, and that means not taking any damage from these slinger units. So a good way of estimating when exactly slingers can hit is by looking at the range of your own slinger units. So as you can see, our slingers range is somewhere over here, so we are closing in to their range. So we want to stay just outside the range or outside the reach of their units until our entire army forms up. And once they form up, what we are going to do is we are just going to move our frontline units only to engage them. We're going to slow down the battle now. Okay, so over here now what I can do is I can take group 6 and I can move group 6 up really quickly, select the remainder of the army, deselect group 6 and move the remainder of the army after I am confident that group 6 has been engaged as far as missiles are concerned. And there we go. Okay, so group 6 is kind of being engaged, so let's just move up our missiles, the remainder of the army really quick. And we're going to keep marching group 6 up front. We're going to run them forward, and we're going to keep doing this with the remainder of our army. I know this is a bit micro intensive, but that is exactly what we are aiming for. So the remainder of the army, our slingers are in position, so we can go ahead and put our slingers really quickly. And this is where we need to control group 6 again real quick. Get them into formation, stop moving them forward. Our slingers can go ahead, hit their own slingers really quickly. And okay, now we have to select all of our hoplites and engage the hoplite formation, move our cavalry really quick. Slingers can go ahead, attack. Alumni can come forward. And as you can see, we have started to take some casualties, but it is very limited. Trust me, it would be a lot more if we did not do this. And cavalry can just go ahead and charge this light melee unit. We can charge over here again. Alumni are going to keep throwing their javelins. Pull back our cavalry. We're going to charge over here. Pull back our cavalry. And when pulling back your cavalry, it's always better to do it in a narrow as possible formation. I see a lot of players stretching it out, and what that does is it actually entangles your cavalry a lot more. If you do it narrow, they move a lot quicker, they're a lot more agile, and you don't end up getting stuck in melee. So I kind of made a mistake over here. We're going to pull out in narrow, and when you charge, you want to charge as wide as possible. So pull out in narrow, charge in wide. Get these guys wide, go ahead. Attack these units. All the slingers can hit over here. All the Polymni can go ahead, hit over here. Get our, okay, charge in wide. Come back and charge in wide. There we go. Pull back in narrow.
Used all its ammunition.
Your orders.
Keep coming back. Alumni coming back. Forgot to toggle on the guard mode. Okay, pull back in narrow. Pull back in narrow. Slingers can hit this unit in the back. Cavalry can come all the way over here and try to relieve this side of the battle. Meanwhile, take a couple of cavalry units to attack that slinger unit. Just one is enough. The other three can come here.
Used all its ammunition.
Alright, if you want two, then two it is. All of them can attack. Over here, perfect. Pull back our cavalry. Slingers can hit over there. And it's always usually better to maneuver. Oh, see you, Terminator. Thank you for joining the live stream, and it was really fun to have you with us. And anyways, with that, we have won the battle, and as you can see, we have very minimal casualties, 62. So that is actually really good. But what's going to happen is the Samnites are definitely going to attack the settlement, so we got to be very careful of what's going to happen over here. And the Samnites, pretty much what they can do is, and I'm going to explain it once we hop into the campaign map, is that they could besiege Capua and then kind of isolate this army outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to obviously loot the settlement, and then I'm going to pull back out. So now they can kind of get our garrison out of the fight, but they cannot do anything much more than that. Alright, with that, let's go ahead and possibly end the turn, but we have a lot of money, so we can do some things with our money, so let's go ahead and do that. Alright, we can improve our farms everywhere, and we can also get another spy, so let's get another spy. Cultural, okay, there we go. And this spy is kind of gonna go downwards in order to see what exactly is going on over here. So they have a couple more settlements, 1, 2, 3, 4 settlements to be precise. So it's going to be quite a lengthy war against the Samnites. Meanwhile, our Governor General has leveled up, so let's go ahead, give him the abilities that we usually give. General over here has leveled up. What we need right now is definitely something that will affect the morale of the enemy units so that they break a lot quickly. So as expected, the Samnites have attacked. They have a massive army, man. Really, truly massive. So what we are going to do is they have decided to attack with this single unit. We are going to control the large army, maybe. Okay, this is very confusing. And we're gonna have to control the large army. And perhaps sally out is what I'm thinking. Because obviously I don't want to keep running towards the city. If the Samnites get there before me, it's going to tire out my units really quickly. So what we're going to do is we're going to sally forth. I know it sounds stupid. We have hoplite units. It would make more sense to be in a city and fight. But of course, we are not in the city. We're going to take some time to reach the city. So the better option in this instance would be to sally out. Beginning of the stream, thanks to trying a new stuff in other game, but you are using some test version or some submod to the submod. So I'm using the Ab Urbe Condita Submod that we have released on Steam, Sergeant Meme Suraj and myself, and it is a submod to overhaul the Rise of the Republic campaign for the Roman factions, or in general for all of the factions, but right now only the Romans and the Etruscans have received a change. So obviously these units are not going to be of much help, so what we're going to do is just simply try to use them as best as we can. Go ahead and start the battle straight off the bat. Run towards these units. Be very aggressive. Try to push their general. They have just one unit alone over here.
Enemy reinforcements approaching.
Go ahead. Meanwhile, what we are going to do in the back is we are actually going to form up our army real quick. We get our general all the way up here in the back. Put these armies over here. Form up. Our more elite hoplites form up over here. And we are obviously not just looking at what's going on over here. Come on. The idea is to lose the garrison. I don't really care about the garrison. And their general is retreating, so... Okay, let's get our cavalry in the left and right flank kind of sorted out. Get these units onto the flanks as well. We're just busy using these guys as a screening force to kind of reposition our army as best as we can. Get our reserve troops all the way out here in the back. And we're missing a lot of our more desired troops. This guy is really running, making it for the hills, trying to make it back towards the Samnite armies. Hello tutors, welcome to the live stream. Empire divided submod for DEI. I really hope so. As of now, I'm not aware of anything. Come on. Just fast forward now, there's no point. Quick look at our own armies. Okay, the real army is kind of forming up over here in the back, giving us about enough time to form up. A quick look at the Samnite cavalry. They are so much better than our own cavalry. And that is not fair, absolutely, because the Samnites weren't really a cavalry faction.
An entire unit has perished.
Okay, units are getting perished, which means we should get access. You know what, just go ahead, keep attacking. Should get access to these guys, come on up. Gives me just about enough time.
This is a shameful display.
Gonna group you up as group 7 for now. Meanwhile, group 4, let's quickly go ahead and put you out. Okay, we need to reform you real quick. You know what? A lot of the army is coming from that side, so we're actually going to move our entire army to that side. Let's come all the way here. And there's a nice hill over here, so let's actually do that. Slow down real quick. Get our army on this hill. Get our other hoplite unit on this hill. These two units, they're getting out of the battle. Quickly form up these two units as well on the flank. And group 7, come over here. Group 4, general, make use of this hill really. Get our alumni over here. And you can be part of group 4 as well. We're gonna move you over here and then select the whole army. Reposition. Because the Samnites are closing in on us. We don't want to be caught with our pants down. And I thought I should have 41 units, so I don't know where are the other units and why haven't they come out yet. So now what we need to do, we need to move back, get a couple of these units, 1 and 2. You're gonna protect the flanks. 1, what unit is this? Okay, what unit is this? That's a different unit. Okay, keep moving. Your group 4. Select the whole army, move it slightly forward. And we have some of these units that are getting a bit ahead of themselves, which is kind of good. So we can actually get our cavalry into the mix over there, try to snipe out those units. Okay. Meanwhile, these 2 units can go ahead. Alright, that's great. Cavalry has done a good job over here. Group 3, go ahead, attack this unit.
We await your command.
Pull back our cavalry. Really? Now front line is almost complete. We need to pull back this cavalry. Couldn't make it in time. Okay, and now we really need to stretch our front line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Go ahead, put them up. Get all of our hoplites, put them in hoplite phalanx. Cavalry. Go ahead, charge this unit. Okay, we broke that charge. That's good news.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Right.
Your orders. Romans ready for duty. As you command.
We have another bunch of alumni over here and they come out right in the worst spot possible. That is just unfortunate, man. That is not fair. Completely unfortunate. You know what? I kind of played it wrong. Those units up front, I should have just let them. And more of the alumni will be coming in the wrong direction. No. So we have them over here. Let's try to win this cavalry engagement. This unit should lose decisively. Meanwhile, we get these couple of units to protect our flank. We have to look at this cavalry engagement over here. Quickly charge. Get these guys out. Get the alumni really quick.
Flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
Get our slingers into position as well. And our generals can help that left flank, because that left flank got caught out of position really, so to speak.
Ready and waiting.
Okay, and we get our Astarte 5th class population just in time over there to prevent this unit from attacking us. And this cavalry is absolutely so strong. Okay, we're gonna move out. Group 4 is done dealing with that cavalry unit. These guys are in group 5. We want the slingers to be in group 2. Okay. Keep chasing this cavalry unit. Make sure it never comes back. Most likely it won't. Most likely it can't. That right flank is really struggling. So what we need to do is we need to get our Pilumni all the way over here. Help that right flank out. Meanwhile, we move our cavalry around. Really? Over there. Okay. We need to get our general. Slingers, go ahead, hit their slingers. If we win this battle, we will have a significant advantage over the Samnites, but that is a big if. We get our cavalry into narrow, wide formation over there. Group 3, we're gonna get you all the way over here in the back. Alright, go ahead, charge this unit in the back. Meanwhile, you get narrow, stay over there. Generals can come up. What's going on here? You can keep just slinging over there. And we want to really help our flanks. And most of these units are not engaged. So let's actually get them out of phalanx formation. Get them out of phalanx formation and start encircling the enemy. Like, they have decided to do this, which is really problematic. Over here, this cavalry has charged into me, unfortunately. 1, 2, move you out.
One of our units has used all its
This is
ammunition.
problematic, really. Go ahead, hit here. We're gonna pull back one of these units to help out over there. Meanwhile, 2 of you can come here. Spread out. 2 of you can come here. Spread out. Start encircling the enemy. Oh god. Our generals got caught up over there. Go ahead, charge here. Charge into this unit. Meanwhile, you can come all the way over here. Want you to hold that line. Go ahead, charge into the backs of these units. General. Right. Go ahead, charge, charge. Okay, we're dealt with another cavalry unit, that's good news.
The enemy general is dead.
And we have killed the enemy general as well. Gonna move my cavalry quickly out. Keep it narrow. And now we cycle charge into everything. Okay, these units are kind of engaged, these slingers over here. Try to use our slingers to hit all of these units. You stay here. You come forward. Oh, no, no, no. We gotta move our cavalry behind. Get away. Don't lose our cavalry. And one of the generals can inspire. Did I actually lose a general? I don't think I did. I don't think I should have. Okay, we take our other cavalry.
Men flee the field of battle.
Move them behind.
This is a shameful display.
Okay, get our other cavalry over here. Get these guys in hoplite phalanx. Push them up forward. We're starting to break out that center. So what we can do is we can continue the effect. Get these guys out. These guys can start to encircle as well. Get group 3 in the middle. And now get all of our slingers to hit this unit. Meanwhile, pull our generals behind. And just like that, we're going to keep rolling down the enemy flank little by little. Splitting them up just like that. Go ahead, split out our cavalry. Cavalry over here can come this way. Generals, go ahead, charge back over there.
Our men flee
This
the
unit
field of
come over
battle.
here.
This is
And
a
some of our men are fleeing over here on the right flank. We are struggling, so we're going to move to help that right flank. Meanwhile, this unit is not a formation unit, so he can move sideways. Over here, what we need to do is we need to get this sword unit out of the battle. Group 3, what's going on with you? Go ahead, charge over there. Charge over here. General has done quite well, but he gets caught by a spear unit that came out of seemingly nowhere.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
And the general needs to inspire. Okay, group 4, you're done quite well. This hoplite unit can come all the way here and here. They can move up that way. Go ahead, charge into the different units, pull back. Okay, we have managed to route out a huge section over here on the left, which is helpful, really helpful. And okay, over here, these units are not really engaged, so we can pull them out. And group 4, you're done really well, pull you back. We're going to cycle charge once again, and you're going to get a lot of damage. Meanwhile, these units can cycle out once again. Group 3, go ahead and charge all of these units. Meanwhile, our generals come close. Get this unit out. Group 4, just go ahead, kill all of those units. You know what? No, I'm going to charge here. Those units are going to take some time to reach me, so I might as well charge into these units, and you can charge here. Meanwhile, you are now in a formation, which is great. Go ahead, hit that unit. 2 of you come here. And we need some help on that left flank, which is crumbling. Go ahead, charge here. Charge these units instead. Try to rescue that left flank.
Flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
Okay, pull out, pull out.
At your service.
Oh god. Move this cavalry all the way out. Go attack over here. And one of the easiest ways to pull your cavalry out is to actually attack another unit. So if you find that your cavalry is stuck, just attack another unit. I want to really get these guys out of the fight. No, group 3, you stay where you are, you stay close. Make sure those guys never return. What's going on? No. Group 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Group 4. Generals move back. Let's see what's going on here. Group 4. Keep attacking. We want to move 2 of this cavalry from Group 4 in a different direction. Just spread up a little bit. Keep attacking, keep attacking. Alright. Okay, what's going on here? We can go ahead, attack over here in phalanx mode. Okay. Get 2 of these units to attack here as well. Get our generals into the fight. Okay, so we have done quite well over here. So we can get all of these units and encircle over here. All of these units are just standing idle. So we have a very good opportunity to attack the enemy over here. Meanwhile, cavalry, come on. We're not supposed to get engaged over there.
Flee the
Go
field
here.
of battle. This is a shameful display.
By your command.
All of you can go ahead, charge into these units. Charge.
Pikes ready.
2 of you can chase over here, bring back all of our cavalry. You've done quite well over there. Okay, so now this flank is the problem.
Hoplites ready. Cavalry ready.
Equites!
For glory. Ready.
We should be able to deal with them quite soon, man. What a battle this is. Okay, let's move over here. And we got a couple of these units that can attack here. Meanwhile, this unit is fulfilled its purpose, can attack the flanks over here. Get our general wherever you are. You come back to the battle. Ah, too late. Okay, never mind.
Shameful display.
Never mind, never mind.
Commander.
Okay. Alumni. Now we really need to select all of our hoplites and reform our lines. Could find ourselves in a lot of trouble here. Hopefully we can break these units. If we can break all of them, then we have the opportunity to reform our lines before this unit catches up to us. But I don't think that'll be the case. So what I'm going to do is actually gonna prevent him with using one of my hoplite units. Form up over here. Perfect. Okay. There we go. You don't get to reinforce your allies. Meanwhile over here, quick look at what our other group 4 is just down to 1 cavalry unit. Group 3, meanwhile, you're looking quite good. We need to get rid of those hoplite units. Pull back, pull back. And now we don't have a lot of cavalry, so we need to be really careful how we deal with things over here.
Flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
Okay, this unit is gone. Meanwhile, we need to break out this unit. And it's a hoplite facing in this direction. So let's just move all of these units away from the battlefield. Just reposition you. And you can just keep it getting attacked in the back. I don't really care. Yeah, go for it. You're gonna try to turn around, and if you do, I will attack you once again. Meanwhile, group 3, you're done good over there. This is the problem. Generals keep moving out. Lingers, archers. Yeah, hoplites. Generals. We get these guys here, these guys come here. Okay, these hoplites have turned around, I think. No, they haven't. I have no idea why they are wavering. Okay, we need to get these guys out of the fight.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
Lost yet another cavalry unit. That quite dangerous, really. We cannot afford to lose cavalry units. Speaking of cavalry units,
Flee the field of
yeah, we're losing a bit more on the cavalry department. That is not good whatsoever. We get... Alright, that's good. I want this unit to start breaking. Instead, now what I'm going to do is going to move here onto this flank, because that's where the real problem lies. Move our general across. Move all of these guys across. We have quite an issue over here, because a lot of these units are just not budging. And this unit, I have no idea why it is wavering. It shouldn't be wavering. It should be absolutely crushing over here. Go ahead. Get these units over here. Pull back, pull back. Group 3. Meanwhile, generals can go ahead, attack those archers. I want you to turn around and hit this unit. Okay, we're done with this unit. Thank God for that. We're gonna move all of our units to attack here. Move over here. Good. We're busy defeating this unit. Group 3. Keep moving. Now we get all of our hoplites over here. We're gonna reform the line over here on the left side. Get our generals. They are a bit more tougher cavalry, so should be a lot easier. Okay, we get our alumni over there to flank the enemy units. Oh, no, no, no. You're gonna charge me in the flank. Oh no, you're retreating. Okay, that's fine. I expected as much. Go ahead, keep charging, keep charging. Alright, reposition. Hey, we're nearly gonna win this battle. Almost. Still have a lot of issues on that left flank. Crazy. Oh my god, they caught up to our cavalry. And this cavalry is absolutely trashed here, man. I mean, really need some sort of incentive to actually get those cavalry units. Alumni can go ahead, attack over here. Generals, you're doing fine. Just keep chasing units. Okay, I'm...
At your service.
Javelin man!
Get out, cavalry.
Missile infantry ready. Pike infantry ready.
By your command! Understood!
That's not looking good over there. At least the right flank is all but sorted. I'm just gonna reform over there. Meanwhile, this unit can come here, start attacking. Cavalry can charge over here. Generals can come back to the fighting.
Javelin man! Forward!
Go ahead, reform everything. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 hoplites over here. Just form up over here. We can take our more mobile troops and move them to support. Go ahead, keep attacking.
The enemy general is dead.
Hey, the enemy general has died somehow. So that's good news. And it's still a very massive battle. Oh, we're losing more and more troops actually.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
Jupiter gives us strength. Pikemen ready for orders.
At speed!
Hoplites! Yes, Commander!
Pikes at the ready! Break the lines! By your command!
Ready and waiting.
Okay, we just move our hoplites out of there.
Sons of
General did quite a decisive charge really. And he does have this ability, so let's just use that. Okay.
slingers! Your orders!
Alright, I think we have won the battle, man. What a battle that is. Just everyone dead. Literally. Oh my god. This definitely is going to be a close victory, but in reality, it's quite heroic. So, there we go. Okay, close victory. We might have turned the tide of the battle, or of the war rather. But we'll have to see, depending on what exactly happens at the end of this turn. We have to see how many troops we actually lose. And one of the benefits of the Samnites is that they will retreat to their own province. Okay, so we got rid of a lot of their armies, so that is useful. Meanwhile, we lost only a slinger unit. That is fantastic. Okay, this is kind of like what we wanted. So what we're going to do is we are going to ransom off the captives because we need the money. And we are going to pursue them in the next turn and wipe out all of these armies. Yeah, sometimes that V-shape could be a better thing. Yeah, manual, absolutely. You're entirely right. That V-shaped formation is quite helpful sometimes. But the thing is, with that center formation, right, with the V-shaped formation, you're pretty much stuck in position, which leaves you very static. With me being able to free up my center, what happened was I could encircle a much more numerically superior army. So definitely both systems has its advantages as well as disadvantages. So now what I'm going to do is I'm very carefully going to merge some units. I'm going to attack them regardless. So we're going to move this army close by. We're going to move another army close by. Go ahead, attack. And should be an easy auto resolve. Get rid of a couple of their armies. We haven't lost any units. This time we enslave the Samnites.
Every man here will do his duty.
And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move back towards Capua. And this army is sort of kind of got decent amount of troops. So I'm going to leave him here. Meanwhile, the other army is going to move back quickly towards Casinum, and we are going to recruit another slinger. Okay, so with our spy, we're going to move further down south over here and deploy him. And I don't really see any other Samnite armies, so that's good news. And over here, what we are going to do is we're going to get some of those army traditions, so that's looking good for now. Perfect, and I think this gives extra replenishment, so we might as well just repair that. Okay, perfect. Alright, with that, I think we can go ahead, end the turn, and see what happens. Let's go and level up our spy over here. Perfect. Those guys broke their trade agreement with us. Now we could pretty much have a whole bunch of angry Samnites. Now all three of these factions are technically Samnites, but we haven't registered them as Samnites, and that is something that okay, so now this army is at a decent position. So you know what, we're gonna overextend over here because we have a very good opportunity to capture Neapolis. So what we are going to do is, right over here now, we can recruit the Campanian cavalry. So that is absolutely what I want to do. What we are going to do, we're actually going to move and attack this army over here that's outside the settlement. Oh, that you can just name it. So that's just a unit name. Oh, the submod hasn't yet been updated for that, Philip. So I have just made a small change over here to basically explain the different classes of the Servian army, but it hasn't been updated yet. So pretty much what's going to happen is it's going to be updated and you guys will see this. I'm gonna wait a turn, get some better. Okay, there we go. And now we are going to deal with the Samnites when we have the advantage. So let's see how the Samnites handle that. Oh, and I actually have a wrong sort of a army composition in this army. That's okay, we'll fix it. We get group 5 up ahead, group 2, group 6. Cavalry on the flanks, general all the way in the back, start the battle, move up forward, and increase the speed.
Enemy reinforcements approaching.
The reinforcements are coming in from the right. Oh no, from behind, okay. That's fine. Let's just move up our entire army. Slow down. These guys have taken the bait. Split our cavalry.
Orders. Melee cavalry waiting. Melee horsemen ready.
We await your command.
Equities. Commander. Ready and waiting.
Ready to ride. Equities. By your command.
Okay, let's charge in all directions at that cavalry unit. And he is staying put, so he should take quite a bit of damage on the charge.
Our general is under attack.
And with the general, we are going to try to shake him up a bit so that he routes really quickly, because we don't want to get caught up. We're going to select the rest of the army and move them slightly behind, because they will get caught by these melee troops. Meanwhile, make sure group 2 is on guard mode. We've already gotten rid of the general, and we're just going to keep chasing him. Meanwhile, move our own general behind. We can chase him with group 4. Move our own general out of there.
Romans, ready for duty.
Alright, so group 5, keep moving up ahead.
Melee horse
Group 4, you can move around. Group 2, come close. Group 6, come close. Group 3, you can come there. Alright, perfect. That was a good initial engagement. Okay, Group 5, reposition real quick. Not ideal for this hoplite, getting hit in the back. but that's fine. It's not a hoplite unit, I forgot. Okay, so let's move this. Get our cavalry here, here. We're gonna attack all of those units. Okay, perfect. Get the Pilumni into position. Select one cavalry that's closest. The other cavalry unit can go this way.
Javelin men! Double time!
Ready and waiting.
We await your command. Ready! Javelin men! Your orders?
Go ahead, keep hitting that unit in the back.
Equities! Equities! Your orders?
And this time we want to make sure that we hunt down into episodes. This battle would take one. Absolutely would take one entire episode. This time what we want to do is we want to chase down the units. We don't want to, because we want to, you know, make the garrison incredibly weak for the next auto resolve that's going to follow.
Commander! Engage! Ready for melee cavalry.
So we can pull this cavalry behind, over there. Meanwhile, you can chase this unit, or the general can chase this unit.
Slingers! Take aim! Melee horsemen!
Pull back, pull back.
Orders. Ready.
Come here. With this unit, you can chase here.
Gives us strength.
From here, all the way around.
Javelin men!
Okay, general, go in that direction.
Waiting targets. Orders.
Get these guys to chase.
Missile infantry. Advance. Speed. Brave Romans to a man.
Hoplites! Ready! Javelin men! Loose!
Sons of Mars.
Okay, so far so good.
Ready and waiting! Slingers!
We're doing quite well. Come over here. Okay. And it's time to chase the entire army, so let's just do that really quickly. Get our general back here. You can come attack over here. General, hit this unit. You're closer to that unit. Meanwhile, cavalry over here and here. You have done well, so just come back. Try to hit these units over here. General has done well over there. See if you can hit that unit real quick. Come on, before they can escape. I think they will escape. Alright, no problem. And yes, pretty decisive victory. You can quit the battle. And yeah, we are almost wiped out the entire enemy garrison as well. So it should be quite an easy conquest of Beneventum. Oh, sorry, I keep saying the wrong name of Napoli. There we go, we've taken care of another Samnite city. We can go ahead and enslave the captives this time. And auto-resolve the siege, very good auto-resolve. Go for it. And loot the settlement once again. There we go, we can just dismantle all of these buildings. And I want to keep Campania as a food province. But for now, we'll repurpose it some way or the other. And we have completed our research, which means we can build aqueducts, which is great. The next thing we want to build is iron tools so that we can build that slave trader. Now I can expand Roma, build an aqueduct over there, and in the next turns, next couple of turns, I will be even able to get the next level of Roma. Meanwhile, looking at the remainder of our provinces, we can go ahead and dismantle this building, upgrade this building over here. Okay, and now what I want to do, what I really want to do is, and I'm not entirely sure if this army could come back and attack Capua, which is severely not so well defended, and they won't be able to replenish in this turn. I gotta be very careful. What they could do is that they could move back and attack Capua, so, and I might actually want them to do that. So what I could do, actually, there's no patrician class over here. So what I could do is actually move all the way back to Fragile and replenish. Let the Etruscans try to attack Capua, and then we wipe out that army. Alright. So it's fine. We are going to lose Capua when we end the turn for sure. The Etruscans, oh sorry, the Samnites will attack. And we'll auto-resolve it, give them the joy of taking the city. And in the next turn, we will be able to attack them with both of our armies. Alright. So far, how many battles we fought? We fought 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This will be our 6th battle against the Samnites, and we need 10 battles against the Samnites in order to... Oh my god, the Lucani have declared war on me. Why? Alright. Okay, so here we are. Can build yet another sanitation building. What we are going to do over here is now we're going to march back towards Capua. Alright. Move our other army also towards Capua. Should be an easy auto-resolve. Let's go ahead auto-resolve this. And we can once again loot up the settlement. Push back our troops over here. Just repair these buildings. Build up a building over there. Now we have no threat, so we can disband our cavalry. And we can actually build up the Equites Campania when we can. We need some plebes for that. We're gonna wait for a couple of turns and then we can just build up. Meanwhile, we had to reorganize our armies. We have you know, multiple of the units over here and they are not over here, so we're gonna have to see how that goes. However, for now we can go ahead and end the turn. Very quickly select for this dignitary the ability to culturally convert the province. Meanwhile, this dignitary can get that extra food rate, extra tax rate, and our economy, as you can see, is looking fantastic. Let's go ahead and okay. Go ahead and end the turn. Alright, non-aggression with me, that's fine, I'm happy with that.
Would be proud to count you among our friends.
Okay, you're at war with these guys, so I'm not accepting the non-aggression. I cannot fight 2 Samnites at the same time. I could, however, just check if the Etruscans would want peace. That would be the most ideal thing possible.
We await orders.
Well, we have some plebeians over here, which means we can recruit some of our companion cavalry. Let's actually go ahead and do that. Build a couple of companion cavalry over there. We should have some plebeians here pretty soon. And then we can build up companion cavalry over there as well. However, let's just attack this army. We should be reinforced. That's good. We can go ahead and slave them. And even get some army traditions, which is fantastic. Move back our army over there. Let's see if the Samnites actually want a peace. I mean, it's been a quite successful war. They're not interested in peace, but I don't really care. What we can do is also upgrade our champion.
I am yours to command.
And upgrade our spy. What we desperately need to do is actually get some population all the way over here. So we need plebeians, definitely, so that we can recruit some Samnites. I believe the Equites Campania. And then things should be pretty good. So in a couple of turns we should perhaps stabilize over here. Meanwhile, that being said and done, we could potentially get a trade agreement with the Neapolitans. So let's go ahead and do that, get some money out of it. And we can even get a non-aggression. Okay, that's fine. Perfect. Meanwhile, with the Fratani, trade agreements on high. That's good. I want you to stay happy and friendly with me so that you don't declare war. Okay, you will not pay me that much. Let's try for 2,600 or 400. There we go. Okay, you accept that. Meanwhile, will you trade with me? You still won't. Taras, will you trade with me? No, you won't. The Lucanians, they look pretty scary. However, we can take a quick look at all of our provinces. Okay. I'm happy with that, except of course I can upgrade this building as well. And with that, I think we can go ahead and end the turn. But let's have a look at our politics. We have been ignoring it for the most part. And what we really want to do is upgrade the upgrade all of our characters that we can upgrade. Alright, that's enough for now. And we are going to go ahead and end the turn. So I think this campaign is going to be quite different to the test campaign that I played, in the sense that I'm going to push south instead of north. And we have a defensive alliance. You know what? I don't mind that. Give me a defensive alliance so that, you know, I have some allies in the south, since I am going to be pushing in the south. Non-aggression. It's on high, so pay me for it and I will accept it. Wonderful. Okay, and we should have some plebeians class over here, so let's go ahead, get some of those plebeians and get the army upkeep cost as well. Meanwhile, this character has completed building up some more plebeians, so we can move him all the way down south. And we can also get some proletari, and of course get the cheapest version of the proletari. Okay, that's good. And while this army is almost fully replenished, and in the next turn what we are going to do is we're going to disband this and build the remainder of our companion cavalry. We got to watch out for this army over here. Meanwhile, our research is also completed, so we can get water slicing, which actually gives us more growth rate, and we are going to focus on that growth rate. Meanwhile, get the slave trader over here. As you can see, our slave population is going to be quite high at 41%, because we have been looting a lot in Campania. And overall, even though we are making only 2,800 denarii per turn, due to the modifiers of slaves as well as taxation, we are making 6,200 denarii per turn. So that's how powerful it is. And Roma has leveled up, so let's go ahead and build up that building over there. And in terms of food, we really want to change our food situation, so let's go ahead and build up some food buildings. And we can end the turn once again. Alright, quick look at the chat. I'm not so technical. Thanks, keep doing the great work. Alright, so that is looking good. We have some problem over here with this army over here being a nuisance. However, can hope that the Neapolitans or the Neapolitans actually capture Posidonia.
The soldiers of Rome will serve you well.
Alright, so we can't really recruit any more Campanian cavalry, but we are in the process of moving our guy down south to give them more population. Instead, I believe we should have some population here. So it is a good time to switch our armies around. What we are going to do is just switch these units that we should have switched a long time ago. But before we do that, we are going to merge a couple of them. Okay, perfect. And switch a couple of these for a couple of them. Okay, now our composition is correct. We're going to move this guy into this settlement so that he can replenish and give him a couple more Campanian cavalry. So we should have solved our population issue without much problems. Quickly looking at our other provinces, we can upgrade over here. So let's go ahead and keep doing that. Wonderful. And our economy is looking really good. 5,000 denarii is quite a lot for a DLC campaign. But what we want to really do is reach around the 10,000 mark and then perhaps even reach the next Imperium level. And the Neapolis has conquered that settlement over there, Posidonia, which is great. That army has gone ahead and conquered that in turn. So what we could do is this army is fully recruited up. If only we could have attacked this settlement, but we can't really. Maybe let's just try to piece them out. It would make most sense. And even if I have to pay them for it, I wouldn't mind.
If you waste my time.
And no, they're not interested in a peace agreement, but something out of the ordinary has happened over here, and it's that the Samnites have actually abandoned their capital, so we could potentially attack their capital, and let's actually go ahead and do that. But before we do that, let's actually see if we can appoint a dictator, and this time we can put our brother to become a dictator, and we can send our faction leader towards attacking Bovanium. And it's a very bad auto-resolve. However, we do have the superior troops, so I am just going to go ahead, fight this battle. And after I fight the battle, hopefully the Samnites will peace me out. I could use a peace with one of the factions up here in the north. What mods do you use for the white icons in the UI? Looks really clean. The white icons. You mean the unit type icons? Faded glory? There's a mod which I think is called banners, better banners, and that's what I am using. Alright, let's go ahead, have a quick look at this settlement. Our only route of attack is over here, so let's quickly form up over here. These guys as narrow as possible. Okay, get a couple of these units over here. General Group 1, Slingers Group 2, Group 3. I kind of forgot that I haven't gotten the Campanian cavalry over here, but that is fine. Okay, so get these guys here. These guys here. Get all of our hoplites into one narrow group in the middle, and our more elite hoplites into another narrow group down in the middle, and get all of this here. Okay, let's go ahead and start the battle. quickly get up to the walls.
Look at them, cowering behind their wall.
And we can fast forward it over here. Meanwhile, move up our hoplites to burn down the gates. We're gonna do the same thing we did in the previous battle. And then we're gonna move these guys up in order to assist with the ladders. If you're talking about these unit icons, then it's some mod called banners. I will, if you can post me in Discord, I will share with you the mod. Okay, let's keep going, let's keep going. Very interesting, these slingers have decided to actually attack the unit. So let's actually slow down the battle now.
Romans, ready for duty.
Ready.
Get these units to run out there. Get our cavalry into the fray.
Jupiter gives us strength.
Spear infantry, ready! Missile armed riders.
Okay, get our cavalry to attack this unit. Meanwhile, our hoplites can form up over here. Run back into the city. Exactly, okay, pull our cavalry behind. Get them over here.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
And this unit is nearly done climbing up the ladders, which means we can get our other unit as well close by.
Ready for orders. Tanks ready.
And we want to start burning down the gates as well. Let's actually go ahead and do that. Send this guy up the ladder.
Principes!
You can come here this way.
Advance at speed.
Your orders.
This unit is a little bit glitched out. Start climbing up the ladders. I don't know, that ladder is glitched out, which is a little bit annoying.
Marching upward.
Can I pull you out and away? And maybe you can go up the ladder.
Yours to command. Let that dammer.
Alright. And we can start burning down the gates again. Get our cavalry out. Okay, let's get this unit over here and we're gonna fast forward this battle. Nothing much to see here. It's pretty much the same battle against a garrison. And let's bring our general up close to inspire the army. Now we should be able to burn down the gates a lot faster because the gates are closed. And once again, there's some weird glitch happening with this ladder, unfortunately. What is going on with this ladder?
Used all its ammunition.
Alright,
Our general is under attack.
there we go. Come on, climb up. Alright, perfect. Thank God. Okay, nearly done burning the gates. The gates have been neutralized, so we can move up our hoplites as well once the gates have been burnt down. And there we go, they have been burnt. So we're gonna move up our hoplites really slow into the city.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
And we're gonna deal with the enemy like so. Meanwhile, we're gonna move this unit all the way over there. You can come in the middle. You can climb up the ladder. No, I want you to climb up the ladder. There we go. Excellent. And now I'm going to select this. Wonderful. So these hoplites are inside the settlement, which means they should start killing a lot of units. As you can see, already 72, 75, almost 100 kills already. Sudra, hype. Never played this campaign, so watching from the beginning. Hi Sudra, welcome to the live stream and hope you enjoy the campaign. As you can see, just look at the amount of kills these units are getting. Really crazy. Meanwhile, just move these units all the way over there. There is a gate all the way in the back, so that is also good. We want to kind of go towards that gate. Select these 3 units. They can pretty much keep attacking whatever is up over here. And since there's a gate over there, let's actually get our cavalry towards that direction. Meanwhile, a quick look, this unit has already reached 200 kills.
The men are wavering.
Oh my god, one unit has routed. And what's going on over here? Kind of took that weaker unit. It's fine. You know what I can do? I can actually get one hoplite unit to come up onto this section of the wall. Move my general behind to the side. I can actually get one hoplite unit up there, and this hoplite unit is already almost at 300 kills. Let's actually move him up the ladder. And once he's up the ladder, we can select him to click or to attack this unit over there. Alright, keep going up. There we go. Perfect. And now you have captured there. We can capture this gate and we can move the cavalry all the way over there. This unit is at 316 kills. Keep moving you a little bit more forward. Stopped getting some kills. Okay, there we go. Restarted the whole thing. And the hoplites are busy attacking. Okay, I'm not gonna attempt to pronounce that name. I can't read Cyrillic. But thank you for joining the live stream and thank you for the compliments. And we want a cavalry actually to come this way, so not our Palumni. So let's just move our cavalry in and around. This unit is at 444 kills already. And let's just move you slightly ahead. There we go. Okay, so keep continuing getting your kills. Alright. Wonderful. And we nearly captured these gates, which is kind of good news. So we can get a cavalry also close by. And this hoplite unit is starting to take some damage. So what we are going to do is we're going to give him some much deserved rest. We're going to move both of these hoplites across and move this hoplite into the settlement. Really slow. Just want to make it a bit more perfect. Alright, keep going. And what we can do is you can attack this unit. Alright, our cavalry can get into the settlement, so let's go ahead and keep attacking over there. Meanwhile, you go ahead and neutralize over there. Get our Palumni into the city as well. Palumni into the city, you can try to neutralize that tower. And our main hoplites are inside, so we're going to disband this hoplite and bring him outside. We're going to move our general in the way. 530 kills, that's really good.
The battle is turning in our favor.
And now this hoplite is going to be the one that's doing a lot of the killing. And we have successfully moved this hoplite unit completely out. And it's done quite well, 530 kills. Meanwhile, our cavalry over here, we're busy attacking these units. Let's go ahead. Move our Palumni up over here. And and the cavalry can pretty much charge against this cavalry. And with that, we have won the battle. So quite a good battle. It took a bit of losses, but nothing too, drastic. We can recover big time from these losses. And of course, as you can see, that's very useful. And this unit already at 155 kills. So definitely you want to be using this technique when taking a walled settlement. The mistake I did is I actually made this unit run around to neutralize towers. I should have done that with the weaker class 5 starter unit. However, let's go ahead and loot Bovanium. We are now at Imperium level 3. It's great. And now let's have a quick look if the Samnites would like to have a peace with us. And they are moderate. They want a payment, so I don't mind. I will accept that. Because I want to. And what a spot of luck. We actually have an army that's moving towards Capua with the unit that we had lost in that battle. Let's go ahead quickly repurpose this province. This province of Samnium is a 4-region province and it's very good as a military recruitment province. So let's actually build it up for that military recruitment. We are going to repair this building, turn off the taxation over here for now. And since we have reached our next Imperium level, we might be able to get, and we have received a dignitary from our mission. So we're going to move him down towards Bovianum. However, with that, let's have a quick look at all of the other things. And everything seems to be fine. We can go ahead and end this turn. And pretty much since we are now at peace with the Samnites, let's actually move our spy towards the Lucani, who should be our next target. So technically, we should... Ooh, what's going on? Okay, the Lucani is about that big. And over here they have 3 regions, 4 regions in total. So yeah, we can do pretty good against them, but what we need to watch out for is this faction somewhere over here now borders us.
Speak your terms.
Is actually
Words, plentiful haste.
is actually an ally of the Lucanians. So that could be a little bit problematic. These guys have cancelled their trade agreement with us. What we are going to do is we are going to pay for a trade agreement because we want them to be friendly with us. And we're going to ask them to join the war against the Lucani. Hopefully they will accept that. No, they will not. Okay. So we're going to have to go ahead, end the turn and see what exactly happens. Hololive, good morning. Hope you have a great stream. We'll have to watch later. Thank you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Glad to have you with us. And yeah, there's not much left to the stream really. I'm just going to play for another couple of turns. And it has been almost 3 hours of a stream. And then I will pretty much end the stream. And we can pick this up next week.
Some in the state are known to have
Military alliance. No, I don't want to. Alright, let's have a look at the provinces. We can build a warhorse Benz over here. And we want to build an aqueduct over here for sure. Meanwhile, we can upgrade that. We can move this over here. And since we have the next Imperium level, we can actually get another Governor General. So let's actually go ahead and get that one over here. Rename him as Lictoris Regale. Okay, perfect. And we can even upgrade a character over here. Go ahead, give him those abilities. Public order is a bit of an issue, but we will resolve that quickly. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, we can send our spy deeper over here to get a line of sight of what's going on. We have a couple of armies over here, and what are the army compositions? They actually don't have hoplite units. And we have a bunch of companion cavalry. But we cannot attack this settlement, not just yet.
How can
We're gonna move deeper down and deploy over there. We're gonna oriented this spy, move him somewhere down over there. Alright, perfect. And now we need another character who will be our third legion. And that can be our brother. We can raise him up all the way over there in Roma and rename him as Invicta. Okay, fine. I will leave the name Invicta. And what we need to do is, I'm not going to disband a lot of these units. Instead, I'm going to disband them over here, since anyways we will be gaining some population over here, since we haven't been replenishing in Capua. So the objective is to move this guy all the way towards Ovianum, transfer over one of the units of Hastati class 4 to the army that lost it, and disband all of the other units save for 2 Hastati and 2 slingers, so that we don't have to get them once again with Legio 3 Invicta. However, since we don't need slingers, we could go ahead and recruit a couple of these guys. A couple of these guys as well. Oh, you know what? I have actually lost this unit, not that one. Okay, so that's interesting. I cannot really, I have to disband almost everything. Perfect. And can leave a couple of these units actually with that army. And we can get some hoplites. Alright, perfect. Let's go ahead and end this turn. Alright, we have completed a research in construction, so that's good. What now we need to do is we can go in this direction to improve our public order a little bit. Or even the other direction to get some cultural conversion. And I think we should go for the cultural conversion, because we will need to culturally convert this province as quickly as possible. And it's really annoying that we are in winter.
Soldiers of Rome will serve you well.
And we cannot recruit companion cavalry in this province. So maybe we should just recruit them over here. They are a little bit expensive, I'm not gonna lie. And we're gonna march a Legio 3 Invicta. It's not a completed legion. We are gonna march him down south towards Capua. Alright, we can keep ending the turn. Meanwhile, these armies are still chilling out over here. Let's actually move our spy all the way up to Compsa. Let's make sure that the Etruscans cannot declare war against us. Or the Samnites. I keep saying the Etruscans, damn it.
Speak quickly.
Okay. Just end the turn after leveling up a character. Okay, let's get the agriculturalist. Public order is always helpful. And we can go ahead and end the turn. Nice. So our allies in the south have pretty much conquered yet another region of our enemy. So it shouldn't be, it should distract them a fair bit, which is really helpful to our cause. And our general has leveled up. We have a probability of a civil war. And why is that? Other factors. What's going on? That is not good. What are other factors, really? Okay, so what we will need to do for sure is we need to attack this settlement. We need some money to prevent a civil war. And okay, so over here what I am going to do is I can recruit this unit over here straight up. Okay, so that's pretty good. Let's just recruit that unit over there. Meanwhile, just move this guy up to the north all the way. It was a waste of him moving all the way down there. We're gonna move you all the way here. And we are gonna have to attack this guy, conquer the settlement, and pretty much attack the settlement or loot the settlement so that we have some money to prevent the civil war. So what we're gonna do over here, just secure loyalty. So those guys should be quite loyal, and we cannot do it again because we don't have enough money to do so. But if we are able to take down Posidonia, then we should be able to do that. So let's actually move with our dictator. Quick save over here. And hop into what would be the final battle of this episode. And they do have a fort. I should have attacked the city. That was a big mistake. I should have attacked the city instead. We can hope for the best, because usually when there's a reinforcing army, they try to come out of their fortification. So we can hope that happens. And if that happens, then we can claim the fort for ourselves. So let's go ahead, quickly deploy our army. 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3. Select all of you. Put you here. 2 and 3. Reserves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Get you up over here. Companion cavalry on the flank and general in the back. Let's see what happens over here.
Enemy reinforcements approaching.
They have reinforcements, but they have decided not to leave their settlement. So it's going to be quite a tough battle, really. Let's just quickly get into position. And here we want group 6 to actually form up really quickly over here. Alright. And move our slingers up ahead so that they can also start to throw their... or start pelting the enemy. And the entire army has decided to come out, which is good. We're going to slow down. And what we are going to do is we're going to start burning down these structures because they kind of act like grenades. And by grenades I mean to say that once these structures explode, then they will kind of do some casualties to the enemy. Okay, this one is burning, but there are no enemy units nearby. The other one is also almost burning. Right. Get a cavalry on the right flank to deal with these units before they can reinforce their settlement.
The walls are breached.
And as you can see, some of these units are going to die due to that explosion. We're going to move away. Some of them have died. Just can't wait for the other ones to die as well. Boom! Wow. Okay. Great. Let's reposition our hoplites. And we want to burn this one as well. Get our cavalry on the left flank as well. Go ahead.
Italian cavalry! Men of Italia!
Moving our cavalry on the left flank. That's what I'm doing.
Javelin
But
men!
now we want to move our javelin men also over here. And I want to burn down these towers actually, because these towers can do a lot of damage to us if we do not burn them down. That's good. Keep burning them down. Okay, quick look at our cavalry. They have dispatched these units really quickly. So that's great. Okay. And now
Walls are breached.
we can try burning down this section of the wall. Move up our general as well. Get our cavalry into the settlement from behind. This unit can charge into the swords unit.
Our general is under attack.
Central command!
Okay, we can fast forward over here. Quickly charge into that cavalry. And our equites should be a lot better than theirs now. And we have dealt with that unit as well, so we can move our other unit over here and try our level best. See, the only thing we are worried about is their general. So we're going to try to see if their general takes part. If he doesn't, then we can charge this cavalry in the back and wipe it out. Excellent. Now that we've wiped out that cavalry, let's actually go for some of their missile units. Move this way, just keep moving. I am playing on fast forward and should be quite easy to understand what's going on. It's a pretty easy battle. It's just simply made hard by the fact that they have a fort, but it's not too hard. And as you can see, we have nearly done routing all of their missile
The enemy
units.
tower has been
And their
destroyed.
general should also lose decisively. And slow down over here. We can get these guys up and ready to flank the unit. Meanwhile, the general
The enemy general
are losing decisively. And we have killed their general, so that's some good news. Which means we can pull out our cavalry. I don't want to be fighting spear units. So pull out our cavalry quickly behind and try to neutralize the enemy towers.
Hoplites ready!
Meanwhile, move our hoplites in order to flank the enemy unit.
Missile infantry at your command!
And we can get our alumni to kind of hold down these units over here that are trying to flank. And if they do flank, I will use my general to hit them in the rear.
Italian cavalry! Missile
Get these two cavalry units to kind of attack that melee unit over there. Get our general around.
javelin men! At the double! Ready and waiting!
The hoplites can charge over there. These units can come here. General can come around and try to hit this unit in the back.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Okay, that unit is losing decisively. Our alumni are in position so we can attack them. Meanwhile, our slingers can also attack this unit in the back. We are done neutralizing the enemy towers, so we'll not take any more damage from that, which is good news. We can put all of our equites in one group and start a rear charge over here. And now we can fast forward, and the battle should be easily won with this rear charge. There we go. Easy victory indeed. And we're going to continue the battle, try to kill as many of the units as we can really quickly over here. Select our entire front line.
Romans ready for duty! Hoplites!
And yes, let's keep attacking. Fast forward over here. General can go ahead, attack over there. We don't really need to chase down these units, but we are going to do it anyways.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Okay. Quickly have a look at all of the units. Fantastic. Alright. Get this entire unit reformed over here. Alumni reformed. And yes, we are almost done with the battle. We can go ahead, end the battle. We have managed to rout quite a considerable amount of the enemy units. They have just a few left, just a few skirmishers. They will retreat, but we will be able to push the attack to the settlement, auto-resolve it, and wipe out that army, which means we will have conquered Posidonia. And it takes a couple of attempts to pronounce the name properly. And so we are going to capture Posidonia, and we have to remember that we need to loot the settlement. So firstly, we're going to ransom off all the captives, because we need that extra bit of money. And then we are going to attack Posidonia and auto-resolve this one over here. That army should go down. And now we can loot up the settlement, get a good amount of denarii. We can prevent the civil war from happening by securing the loyalty of this party over here. And then we can further improve their loyalty by sending their character to improve the public order in the certain provinces, as well as promoting some of the other characters. So as you can see, now we are quite safe from a civil war. Meanwhile, some of our characters have leveled up, so let's quickly go ahead and give them the skills. Definitely want to improve their movement range even further. And the Lictoris of Cassinum, you have also leveled up, and get that agriculturalist. It's giving us a good amount of income. A quick look at all of our provinces. We want to convert this into a farm, this into a fishing port, and we want to dismantle this military barracks. So we have quite a lot of income, and we have quite a lot of food, so we're looking really good overall. And we almost have 3 legions, which means we are in a pretty powerful position. As you can see, we have pretty much done what we did not want to do. We did not want to extend in a line like this. We really wanted to cut across Italy, control the spine, which is the Apennine mountain range in Italia. However, we have gone all the way down here, which means pretty much we have exposed ourselves, and we can be attacked by multiple factions like this, and we will have to kind of protect a very long border. But thankfully, we have a friendly relationships with all of our neighbors, and we will have to soon enough kind of push across Italia, so that way we will reduce our front to pretty much something like this over here in the south, and something like this over here in the north. And by doing that, we will be in a much stronger position to protect our holdings in Italia. However, I think we are more or less done for this episode, but before I go ahead and end the episode, we are going to attempt to see if we can finally peace out the Lucanians.
Speak your terms.
They are still on low, so they're going to die very slowly and painfully. And we are going to end the turn and see how things go during the end turn, because this army could potentially attack me. And you know what, they would most likely attack me, and that would just unnecessarily extend the episode. So I am going to go ahead and end the episode after I very quickly look at all of the other armies over here. Perfect. I'm very happy with how this first episode has panned out. Meanwhile, over here we can build an amphitheater, which will eventually, I will build it into a Colosseum, which didn't really exist at the time. The Circus Maximus did exist, so this can be retained in the campaign. However, the Colosseum will have to be disabled. But of course, for this Let's Play series, I am going to build a Colosseum as well as the Circus Maximus, because it's there and they are incredibly powerful buildings to have. However, with that being said and done, I hope you all enjoyed the episode, and I thank you all for watching. And if you liked the video, then like the video, and don't forget to subscribe if you are interested for more.